Hello and welcome to unMadeGaming, guys. It is Tuesday? It's Tuesday, pretty sure. And we're here for Curse of Strahd. I'm also pretty sure of that. Check the overlay? Yeah, Curse of Strahd. So it's Tuesday, we're here for Curse of Strahd, and with us today is the full cast and crew. We'll go around and introduce everybody, and then we'll get into the craziness that is Barovia. So we'll start with Mr. Bitters, who looks like he's paying attention the most. Who are you? What are you doing here? And who are you playing tonight?
I'm Mr. Bitters. I'm a moderator around here, and it's partially because I hate almost everything. But I don't know what I'm doing here tonight. There was another map last I was here, and now there's a new map, and it's fancy.
Yeah.
Tonight I'll be playing Stewart Gibbs, not Toddrick Ellisor.
Mm-hmm.
Stewart Gibbs, the human fighter with the sword on a stick.
Toddrick
Maybe
Stewart
some magic.
and Ellisor Gibbs.
Yeah, something like that.
That's the names. Speaking of Ellisor Gibbs, Frags, who are you? What are you doing here? And who are you playing?
I am KW Frags, and I too am a moderator around here sometimes when I'm. And I will be playing Toddrick Ellisor, BFFs with Stewart Gibbs. And yeah, much like him, new map, new adventures. Don't really know what's going on, so we'll figure that out.
Now, is your shirt? Are you the human green screen, or is that a yellow shirt and the hue of the screen is turning it to blue?
No, it is definitely a bright lime green.
Perfect.
Is this gold and white or blue and black?
Yeah.
unMade or
Is this yellow and black, or is this blue and what is it? Something? I'm not sure. I don't wear dresses, but someone who definitely does wear dresses. Rem, who are you? What are you doing here? And who are you playing tonight?
Oh, I do wear dresses. Y'all just can't see me from the waist down. I'm playing Auntie Nanny, everyone's favorite crazy old batshit insane. Oh, no, she's not batshit insane. That's Dingbrook. Nanny's actually fairly level-headed. She is a human wizard of the abjuration focus, and she likes to cook. She likes to be nice, and she likes to be terrified of everything and everyone.
That's true. That's true. The polar opposite of that, someone who cannot cook but loves to eat and is not terrified of anything. Madfish, who are you? What are you doing here? And who are you playing tonight?
I'm Madfishmonger. I have stuff on the internet. And I'm playing Thorne Blacktalon, who I was like, I need to queue up a guitar riff for when I announce her name. And then...
Yep.
So, cue guitar riff. She is a very simple-minded barbarian who's a dragonborn who likes to eat things, and when she's not eating things, killing things, undead specifically. And when she's not doing that, sleeping?
You say weeping?
Sleeping.
Sleeping. I was like, wait, why is she weeping? I've never heard any part of that at all.
Preferably in a nice warm sunbeam.
Yeah, like a cat. Or a dog.
Yeah. Or a lizard.
That's awesome. So, guys, without further ado, previously on Curse of Strahd. Quickly retreating to the safety of the Barovian church, Stewart, Thorne, and Ismark immediately took to barricading the windows against the onslaught of the risen dead, while Auntie Nanny and Toddrick scoured the church for resources to use to stem the tide. Thinking quickly, Toddrick and Nanny funneled everyone into the church's main hallway, lighting the pews ablaze and fighting their way through the main entrance, eventually breaking through the line of undead and fleeing back to the relative safety of the Burgomaster's manor. Safe inside, the Order members began to question Father Donovich and his relation to the Order's charge, Narcissa Donovich. Revealing that he was her father, though she had only been dead for a little bit more than a year, not the 100 plus that the Order members believed. Deciding it best to rest and discuss more in the morning, everyone retired to their respective chambers, breaking bread and preparing for the journey in the morning. You guys are outside the Burgomeister's house. You guys have had your morning breakfast. I believe Auntie Nanny made you bacon turtle pancakes. You guys have agreed to take the sister and the priest with you to Valaki, the next town over. And you are making your final preparations to go. What do you guys want to do?
Ooh.
Didn't we go back to the churchyard?
You did. You did go back to the church. That's what I said. All that.
Yeah.
That was what I said.
So the graves weren't dug up.
No, the graves were not dug up. That's right. We ended on a cliffhanger there. The graves were not dug up. I believe you were inside the church. Auntie Nanny was inside the church. Toddrick and Stewart, you guys were exploring graves. And you found one right before we ended. It was a very plain wedge-shaped stone that read Narcissa Donovich. And you found it because Toddrick cast a ritual, detect magic, and the only place not dripping in necromantic energy was this one gravesite. So, Toddrick, what are your thoughts about that? Stewart, what are your thoughts about that?
I'm probably looking to Toddrick to see what his thoughts are about that. I think maybe it's time we find out whether she's a dwarf or not.
I think I brought you over to the grave, and I wiped the grave off, told that it was Narcissa.
Enjoy your stay.
Yeah, I'm just pretty much gonna tell you straight out, like, the whole grave site is just dripping with necromantic energy, except for this one grave. What does it all mean?
I don't know. You're the smart one.
Do we dig it up?
Maybe. Well, maybe. We should get the others.
Yeah, maybe we should ask Nanny. She's got the pot.
Thorne's not going to care, but yeah, she could confirm. She's, in there, done that.
Yeah. And I'm going to make my way back into the the smoldering wreckage that was a church.
The bouldering wreckage that was a church?
Yeah, I corrected myself.
Yeah, so does Stewart, do you follow?
Yeah, the graveyard's pretty creepy to me.
Okay. Even in the night time?
Last night sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like it sucked for you guys. I mean, I had a fun time running it. I
believe you did.
Without any complications, you guys easily get back to the church. So while they were out there for probably a good 15 or so minutes, Auntie Nanny and Thorne, what were you guys doing inside?
I just received the golden symbol of Aymar, the sun god.
Yes. Aylmar.
Aylmar. That's right. She's probably going to cast Identify on it just to make sure it's not... doesn't have any special surprises inside of it.
Yeah, you do. You cast Identify. You take a minute to cast Identify on it. No, it appears to be a completely mundane holy symbol. It resonates with a frequency that you know enough about general magic that it resonates with a frequency that spells can be channeled through this item. But you're fairly certain that you're not the kind of person that would channel them through this.
Yeah, that's not my kind of magic, guys. But it's pretty, so I'm going to wear it and look absolutely fly.
You will look fly. It's super.
That's
great.
right.
It's a 7-pointed sunburst. Looks real fancy.
Boom, and she's gonna like that too because the moon is not her friend, so she's gonna rock the sun god. That's right, keep that moon away.
I like it.
And she's gonna go knock on the top of that little trap door that old boy was hiding underneath.
Sure, you knock on the trap of the old trap door. You knock on the top of the old trap door, no response. In fact, you're perceptive enough that as you're walking around, you have to walk around holes, especially in the main church area. There are holes that have actually burned out in the floor, in the wooden floor from where the fire was. You have to avoid those as you walk towards the trap door. The area below is completely pitch dark.
I'm going to cast light on a piece of wreckage and drop it into the hole.
Sure. You do boom, a piece of
Yeah.
like a stone, and you kind of drop it in. It falls for about 10 feet, and then dunk, it hits like a hard dirt surface. Hits a hard dirt surface and just doof, down there, and it illuminates the room. And as you look around, you see that there are several stone pillars, essentially that raise up the foundation of this church. And where let me switch over to that map for you guys, so you can position yourself for me. Where
He about
are
to jump
you?
out and snatch me up.
Where are you in this church?
Ah, it's still on fire. There's
Yeah.
still zombies in it.
Everything's on fire. Everything's terrible and bad.
Such is my life. Nanny's gonna be, I guess, over here, like digging. What's over here?
Let's see, just go ahead and... Oh no, what happened there? So you're over there. Yeah, so there's not so many holes in that area of the floor. The fire mostly burned out where the fire part is.
Okay, so she's...
But, let's see here. Auntie Nanny, I'm going to just move you down right here for a second so I can get rid of all this fire so we can see where you actually are.
All right.
Goodbye.
The fire is gone.
Yes,
Yeah.
there are essentially holes all over the floor. And you look around in these holes. You drop like one of the stone pieces of the church down into this hole. You see it thunk against the floor. And you see, from where you are, nothing.
Oh. Whew. I like... Well, it seems there's nothing down here. Hello?
You hear, hello, hello, sort of just echo and rebound around this chamber below you.
I would have done a perimeter.
Yeah, Thorne, you would have heard that shouting.
Yeah, no, I mean, when we get there,
Yeah.
I'm going to go all the way around the outside,
Yep.
just making sure.
Yep.
And then I'll go in every room as far as I can where I think it's safe, because I'm like 300 pounds.
Mhm.
I'll go and just make sure anything's moving, I will hit it with my axe.
Yeah. So you go around the outside, and you see that all of the windows have been shattered in. You see that there are, like, the door, now that you are on the outside of the door, you see the door is just clawed to hell. In fact, roll me a history check. 11.
Hey,
You vaguely recognize these claw marks
Okay.
as claw marks you've seen in the doors of other houses.
Oh, like in town?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. So it seems as whatever was clawing at this door, which you know to be undead, might have been clawing at other doors. But yeah, you do your permanent check. You go inside. The first 4 rooms there, you can easily access. The stone walls mostly kept the fire out of that area, and like centrally located in the large church. There wasn't a whole lot to burn down in the hallway where you guys were, where you guys had bottlenecked. So yeah, you see that there are, like, in this chamber here where the trapdoor is, you see that as you walk in, there's debris and detritus on the floor, and you look up and there's a few holes in the ceiling where it rotted through. It seems as though there was a lot less wear and tear in that room. So there's a lot more wear and tear in that room. There's a lot less care given in that room, given that it was the entrance to the trapdoor. That kind of makes sense to you. The other 2 rooms would have had a bed in each one of them. This room here is bedless. This was dragged out and given to the fire. This one also was dragged out, and the bookshelf here in this room was dragged out. So these rooms are now pretty barren. There's a few like under bed scraps. There's a few like things that were knocked off a side table. There's a chair and table in one of the rooms. It seems to have been picked through. You do see corpses inside the church that are burnt up, but no, you're at the front most of the time. Yeah, so you see a handful. In fact, you only see 3 corpses that are burnt up inside of the main church area.
And the priest And the other guy, they made it out with us, didn't they?
Yeah, the priest, not only did he make it out with you, the priest is Narcissa Donovan's father, you guys found out.
Right.
And he has decided to come back with you and journey with you to Vallaki.
Okay.
The other guy had to stay at home.
Okay. I will... So once I've done that, I'm going to go back in the trapdoor room and have a better look around in here.
Yeah. Yeah, this mostly looks like there are...
Enjoy your stay.
There are, like... There's, like, bird droppings here. There's a lot of, like, shingle and, like, roofing that has fallen down. And you see that the trapdoor is probably the most well-made thing in the room, apart from the the iron bar, for lack of a better word, that goes across the top of it that is latched shut.
Okay.
It seems to be like an iron clasp that clips over the top of it, and a lock is on one side of it.
Okay. Given what I've seen of, like, through the floor into the basement, is it possible that under here there is, like, a separate room? Like, the trapdoor here doesn't give access to the entire basement, but only a small cellar,
Did
maybe?
you walk around the interior as well?
Inside, yeah.
Roll me a
'Cause
perception.
I wanted to go... Okay. I wanted to make sure there was nothing moving. Ooh.
A 2. Yeah, so as you kind of like peer into the various holes that are in they're in this part of the church, you're kind of peering into the holes. It's very dark and there's no light coming from inside the church, except for that one stone that Auntie Nanny dropped, and that only glows a little bit. And it looks like, from what you can see of that stone, it looks like it's a large central chamber, but you don't actually see down towards where the trapdoor is.
Okay. Then, does the door still look closed?
The trapdoor looks closed.
Okay. I will go back, and I will tell them.
So, I think as you're walking out of this room, Toddrick and Stewart, you guys come in.
Damn it, Toddy, I told you, she's not a dwarf.
You don't know that. Nobody knows that. I can. This is my headcanon. She's a dwarf.
No, I know Nanny's not all there, but she'd have known it was a dwarf. Look at you.
She might be a tall dwarf.
Tall dwarves. What world do you even live in?
You know what? What if it's two? What if one's named Narcissa and the other one's named Donovan, and they're two dwarves and they're stacked head to toe, and it just looks like one long person?
Dwarf stacking. Nobody does dwarf stacking.
So you come out of the room to this strange conversation, Thorne.
She just stares at them for an uncomfortably long time. And then she points in the room. Door's still closed. I don't know, maybe it got out over there, but maybe it didn't. So
All right, the kid.
Go down. But wait, you can see there's like gears turning.
Yeah, slowly.
Some of us go here, and then other people go down, and then she's kind of gesturing with her hands, like,
I think
I go there, and then you go down over there, and then we come together.
Right, okay. You do that. He's gonna look over at Stewart.
She'll just go and tell Nanny.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if she wanted to give me a hug or what that was.
Nanny, I guess, speaks perfect Thornish and understands. She's nodding her head. Oh, yes. Oh, that's a marvelous idea there, Thorne. Oh, no, you thought of that. You're all on your own, all by yourself. Oh, and then...
So proud of
That's her giant head.
Yeah, like, come here. Here's the candy.
Have a hard candy.
Boys love ribbon candy.
You can put Thornish on your character sheet if you want.
There we go. She's gonna like come into like the whole Professor Farnsworth. Good news, everyone! Thorne has a marvelous plan for what we're going to do to check out to make sure that maybe this person's son didn't die in a horrible accident. because that might have been what happened, and we might have caused it. So, half of us go down these here steps. I point to the room. Half of us go down through one of these holes over here, and then we snoop around, do some investigation, make sure he's not buried under the dirt or a charred mess of bones somewhere in the corner. Hey, what's that? Hey, that's good.
Alternatively, we don't. I mean,
Or we don't. I'll let you tell Thorne that we're not going to do her marvelous plan. I'll let you do that. You tell the big scary woman standing behind me that could rip my head off in one pulp that you think her idea is foolish and not worth your time.
I also want to see that happen.
Perhaps we don't. And just kind of let it happen.
She just goes down by herself.
Let me see. Just go back. Thorne! How about this? We love your plan. But maybe it would be better if you went down and we stayed up here. You know, just in case you need to get out. That way, you'll have help up topside. We can even dangle a rope down one of these holes. In case you find a monster down there and need to hang it. Because you would never flee from a fight, I know.
She kind of reaches over and she pats Nanny on the head. And she's like, it's okay. I know you're a wuss. And she walks into the back room.
Damn.
And starts trying to wrench the...
Roll me athletics.
Okay.
Oh, I'll look at the other two. You know that pat's for you too. Not just me.
Oh,
Wow.
no!
Oh, shit. Better bring your hand.
So,
you lift with your back.
so you get in front of this. You get in front of the trap door here, and you reach down. You see that it's just a bar that's on a swing arm down and locked on. So you get both of your hands up underneath that bar. You crouch down and you begin to rip this thing out of the ground. And as we all know that you're not an architect, it appears as though the creaks in the wood, you just thought they were creaks in wood. And as you go to heave, when you release your from that massive dragonborn squat, you feel the wood buckle beneath your feet. And all at once you feel the spins as you are falling through the floor. And you tumble down a set of stairs and end here.
Okay. Do I take any damage?
You do not.
I take pride damage?
You take damage from your pride, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
You have hurt feelings.
I really do.
She then hears, Thorne, you're going to need this. And she sees this big giant granite rock that's glowing like a light, just down the stairs behind her.
Just bounces haphazardly.
This is your seeing rock. It's like a 15-pound rock.
15-pound rock?
Yeah, you can't
no.
go without your seeing rock.
I was hoping it was a bit smaller. I was gonna put it in my skull.
I got this mental image
one
of
of
like
the
a 50-pound rock that you have to hold over your head to see wherever it is you gotta go. And if you see a bad guy, just
Well, you know the skull. It has the eye patch on
oh
it,
yeah.
so I could put the glowing, eye in the other.
We'll say it breaks into several tiny rocks on the way down, and one of them still
And
glows.
they all glow, yeah.
All right. Well, I'll put one in my skull
Nice.
Okay.
and like a miner's hat, and I will look around.
I like it.
And Toddrick is going to be suppressing laughter.
She's gonna start. She's gonna do as much as possible, obviously, because I'm sure there's debris down here. She's gonna start going to her right. She's gonna keep her back to the wall, and do a sweep of the whole room. Like, go around the outside first, and then go through the middle.
Yep. So that is the range of sight you can see, which is quite a bit of sight. So it's 20/40, bright light, dim light. So yeah, you can see from where you are the majority of this place. So as you're walking around, you see that they are stacked stone pillars that are finished with some kind of cement-like substance that form the pillars, form the foundation of this place. And as you begin going around the outside, it just smells real bad. It's like mildewy and just like that disgusting dank cellar smell, like old and moldy. And you start making your way around the side. You see like there's mold on the ceiling. You see that there's holes in the mold on the walls, holes in the ceiling. You see a few burnt, charred cinders that are on the ground. And you make it all the way to here before you really notice anything. And in this back corner, you notice manacles that are clamped to the wall. A set of 4 separate manacles that are empty.
She'll look around. What was the kid's name again?
Doru.
Doru. Like, hey, Doru, you here?
You just hear Doru here as it bounces off the walls. It sort of echoes in there.
I mean, she knows. If there's something down there, it knows she's here. So.
Yeah, you get no response except your own echo in this chamber down here.
All right, I'll go look at the manacles.
Okay.
She will go over. I have a javelin. So she's going to start, stay a little bit away from them. She does understand that sometimes these things are magic.
Yep.
And she will use the javelin to kind of poke at them, lift them up, make sure that, like, somebody's not, I don't know, invisible or something.
Right. Because that would be terrible. Who would do that? So yeah, you take your javelin and you kind of stab at the manacles and like lift them up and do that thing, and they just fall back to the ground when you let go of them. They just and they clatter. As you're kind of moving them around, you realize that these manacles probably go a good 10 feet from the wall to the end of the manacle, like the chains that are on them. So this person had a decent bit of range of motion that was attached here. You see that this pillar here has several grooves in it, as if the person was like wrapping them around and trying to break them free on the pillar. You see a lot of the binding that holds the rocks together is torn off. But you see, roll me an investigation real quick.
Okay. Hi, Momo.
Okay, cool. So you see sweet manacles. This is the worst day for you. Yeah, you see manacles. They are rusted. They're old. They look like they've been here for long. They look like you know that the boy was chained here for at least a year. These look older than that. Like they had some other purpose below the chapel. You're not really sure why. But they look rusty and old and really shitty.
Okay. Well, then they wouldn't make a good addition to my outfit.
Right,
so,
yeah.
I'm not gonna Molly. Hi. Yeah. Okay. So do they look like they've been smashed open, or does it look like they finally just gave way?
Neither. They're still closed.
That's not right. Okay, she will have a quick look around the rest of the room. Just kind of go, across here. Hi, I'm not allowed to stop paying attention to the cat.
Yeah, that's fine.
So
as you get to that corner there, roll me a perception.
Please don't fail.
Please roll a 1.
That badly.
Please roll another 1. Be a statistical impossibility. Cool. So you see, as you're walking towards this, I'll say from actually back here, as you're walking towards this, you see that in that back corner, away from where you first shown your light, you kind of like looking around, look at the pillars, you look up, and you actually see several bats hanging in the rafter below what you know to be one of the bedrooms. And with your keen perception, sort of dismayed that you didn't notice anything about those manacles, you look up and one of the bats has its eyes open and is looking directly at you.
She's just gonna give it a really big, toothy grin, and she's gonna poke it with her javelin.
All of the bats immediately awake and just like descend, and then they across the top of this area, and they all begin flying out of the holes in the floor.
She yells, grab the bats as loud as she possibly can, and then books it for the stairs. The rest of you over here, you all hear, grab the bats, underneath there, and then you hear a shriek from Irina, and then bats just begin flying out of the holes in the floor. So Nanny and Toddrick, you begin to see bats just coming out of this.
Is this bed still here?
That bed is not there.
Is this bed still here?
Nope. All of the main furniture is out of this place, except for this desk. The only thing you have left is this desk.
Nanny is going to promptly hunker underneath that desk and not have any of this mess with these bats.
Okay. You flail and scream and throw your hands in the air?
Yeah. Ooh! And I like run into the place and just bunker down.
So Toddrick, you see a wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube nanny just and then dive underneath the chair. And before you really have time to figure out what the hell's happening, you just see bats begin flying around in the main chamber of the church. And then you see them all making a beeline for the windows. What do you do?
Well, first, I'm just going to arbitrarily swing.
Mm-hmm. You just take your shillelagh and you just...
Yeah. Just like, hey, get on out of here. I wouldn't need you. All the while asking, what's wrong with you, Nanny? What's wrong?
Stewart, you hear the scream and this, what's wrong with you?
I imagine during all of this, Stewart had been trying to get this door, trap door, open so they could all go down. But he's no locksmith. Thorne really screwed up the hinges. So when bats start like coming out of the holes, and he probably jumped back and get the bats. This is no time for breakfast. Is there anything down there?
The bats! Get the bats!
They're not down there. They're up here. Thanks for that.
Get them!
No!
I'm running up there. I have a net.
But it's like a fishing net or like a throw on a person net. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. That's right. I forget that Thorne is not very smart. They're regular sized bats. So you begin to. How do you plan on getting up, Thorne?
Can I not
you broke a hole in the floor. So
okay.
If you can climb up the stairs, but you kind of got to pull yourself out or be helped out of the hole.
Okay.
I think.
Can I climb up through the floor?
Yeah, you can climb up through the floor. You can climb like if you go up the stairs, you can climb up through the floor. Through the main, like in the main church area, no, you can't.
Okay.
You would need assistance. It's about 10 feet between floor and where the ceiling is for you to climb through.
You gonna try to pick that lock there, Stewart?
Yeah. So I'll at wherever the nearest area is for me to go up.
Okay. Yeah. So you basically see where Stewart is yelling down at you, and where you fell down. You can get through that way. Roll me a
like over here.
Right here.
Seeing her try to get back up, Stewart will probably.
Roll me a athletics check with advantage for Stewart helping you out.
There we go.
Yeah, you easily climb up there. Basically, Stewart puts his hand down, and you just grab it and like almost pull him with you with the force in which you kind of propel yourself out. And as you get out, you see through the door, Toddrick is swinging his shillelagh. Bats are flying. They're coming right towards Toddrick as some of them are flying out of the door. You hear the screams and the cowering noises from Father Donovich as some more are flying out through the windows. What do you guys want to do?
One of them is the kid. He's faking it.
Did you eat some mushrooms while you were down there?
she's just gonna run out and try and find that particular bat.
That particular bat. Okay.
Okay. She's going to look for a bat that isn't behaving like the other bats are, because the other bats are in a panic. They're trying to find it. This is a bat that's not really a bat, so it won't act like one.
Okay. So I assume you have you're pulling your net out and you're kind of getting it ready to go, and you're just running around with a net. So roll me a perception check.
You know what I have? I have a crit.
You do have a crit.
I have 2 of them because I have 1 left over from last time.
You do have a crit.
Do you think this is suitable use of it? I mean, we don't want this kid to get away because he eats people. I think this is sufficiently important. Then I will use it.
Sure. What's the worst that could happen?
Right, of course.
Are you using your crit?
Yeah.
Okay. So you are in the main area, dodging the holes. You're looking around. You have your net out, and you see it. You see all the other bats are making for the windows. You see this bat is just flying at the top, just circling, and then it dips over to where the bell tower is and goes up and comes back down and circles and seems to just be watching you guys. It sort of blends in with the rest of the bats for a couple seconds, and it comes back out to circle. So it's hard. It's like the 3-card Molly, where you're kind of looking around trying to find it, and it dips back to the swarm of bats, and then back out to the top. But you kind of lock on it. You learn its pattern, what it's doing, and you want to
just pounce,
throw the net. All right, so you know more about nets than I do. I assume it's a dexterity throw or dexterity attack to throw net.
Yeah, it's an attack roll. It's built into the roll 20.
Sure.
Actually.
Then roll me a net attack.
Okay, please be good.
Okay. You know what? Never mind. Go ahead, do it.
Were you gonna help? Because you could see.
Yeah. If I could see that you're about to throw this huge cast net, I'm gonna cast guidance.
Awesome.
To help you with that.
Okay.
Awesome.
So you get a plus D4, I believe.
Yes.
Hey.
Not that you needed it.
Just because.
Oh. Well, 24.
Yeah, 24 it is. So you kind of, at the last second, you fold the net in quarters and then over the top of it. So it makes all of the holes smaller. And the bat is in this net, and boom, you pin it down, and you're holding on either side of this net as this bat beats against the net that you have over it. Toddrick, you're over here, since you gave her some guidance.
Yeah, she'll pin it down to the ground.
Yep.
Just not hurting it, just holding it still so it can't get away.
Yeah.
And then she'll just wait for further instruction.
Sure. So you are waiting there, enemy in hand, so to speak. Toddrick, you're standing right next to her. Stewart, you're coming out of the room to see that this haphazard scheme has seemed to have worked. Yeah. What do you guys want to do about that?
I'm gonna yell at Father Donovich to tell him to calm his son down. Because
So you're yelling at Donovich. Okay.
Yeah.
Donovich is cowering behind the altar, and he pops his head over, and then pokes his head back down and says, "That's not my son."
Well, Thorne seems to think it is. So,
This bat is not a bat.
see, bat is not a bat. Only person that could be is Hungry Boy. So
I thought it was the kid because of where it was, but I don't know. I know it's not a bat.
I'm kind of starting to feel real stupid. He's holding the bat down with her. He's like, in hindsight, I do kind of feel kind of dumb.
Why?
I mean, you literally think the man turned into a bat? Is that a thing?
People do magic stuff stuff turns into other stuff.
You
hear
didn't
very
answer my
muffled.
question about the mushroom.
Bats can be magic too.
You a chair squeak out. It closes back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys just have a bat trapped in there. You have Irina sort of moves over towards you guys, curious, looking at this bat. Toddrick, what are you doing?
Wait a minute. You're a druid.
I'm a nature wizard, yeah.
You turn into animals.
I didn't turn into animals, don't I? But
You're gonna hang up your nature wizard cloak?
Oh no! I honestly, I kind of forgot about the whole thing. I really appreciate the God dang it, dude. Yeah.
So how do you make him turn not animal?
I mean, technically, you guys don't know that. I mean, yeah, I haven't turned into an animal yet. But
Well, I think I'm aware of the general concept of druids.
yeah.
Animals is a thing they do. That's probably all I know.
It sure is. It sure is. I mean, on a scale of 1 to stupid, I feel really, really Thorne right now.
Rem, I see you clicking buttons. Are you trying to identify something?
No, I was trying to click the little wheel next to identify so I could read it in private, but
Gotcha.
I slipped and hit the real thing.
Mm-hmm.
Auntie Nanny's not getting anywhere near that goddamn thing
Mm-hmm.
because bats are what gave her what possessed her with these accursed powers, and she ain't having none of that because it's in her character sheet.
Makes sense. Toddrick, how do you get animals out of how do you get people out of animal forms?
You gotta bite them in the right spot. Shit.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's.
You will.
Don't tell Thorne that.
Yeah. That's why I was asking old Donovan to talk to his son.
Yeah, Donovan peeks over the thing and he looks at you again and he shakes his head and he says, That's not my son.
Enjoy your
He-
stay.
If my son could do that, why would he have stayed manacled all these years?
The manacles were still closed, but there was nobody in them. I poked. Can you turn other people into animals?
I think she's talking to you, Toddy.
I don't rightfully know. Probably, I would say it's not in the realm of impossibility.
What if somebody came and did that so he could get out?
You know, I feel like if he was going to fly away, he would have done it as soon as he turned into a bat and not just kind of left with the whole group.
Now, Thorne, you know we value you're an important member of this group.
I caught the bat.
You caught the bat, and you got in the basement and you found the bat. There were
Okay,
a lot of bats.
so it's your problem now? Here you go.
Do you let the bat go?
No, she's like gonna slide it over so that he can
I
like
don't
take.
want the bat, but if you were gonna eat the bat, maybe just eat the bat, and we'll be done with this. And
It's a person. I'm not supposed to eat people.
She has a point.
Oh.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
really
generally a good rule.
bad if I do.
90% of the time, that's a great rule to have.
What if you just taste it and see if it tastes like people?
She'll look up at Auntie Nanny for.
Auntie Nanny is hiding under a desk in a
Yeah.
different room, terrified
Oh.
of bats.
I'm back here.
You look up and don't see Auntie Nanny.
She's gonna. Who else is there? Just the. Just the father?
The priest, Irina is there.
Irina.
Yep.
Okay, she'll look at Irina. And see
As if to
what
ask her if you can eat
has to
people.
She's just getting a second opinion.
Just feeling out the room. Yeah, she looks to you, concerned and confused, and says, I don't rightly know what you are, but I don't think you should eat people. If you believe this is a person, that is.
Well, unless it shows itself to us, let's just assume it's not a person. And if it doesn't want to be eaten, it'll make itself known.
Oh, right.
Roll me intimidation. Yes. I assume that's what that was. I'll even say persuasion if you were being nicely, but it sounds like an intimidation to me. $19.
No ketchup, just sauce.
You all hear, like, this ominous, like, echoing laughter just ring out in your heads. It's like this weird, tinny... Thorne, it gets exceedingly difficult for you to pin this bat down as the net you're holding begins to contort and twist and move. And you see that as it begins to grow, you see this man here. Standing before you. This man is in well-dressed fineries. Sweeping robe, long black hair, pointed face, and his eyes dart back and forth as he has a sinister smile. You see, standing before you, a man who resembles this.
Well, fuck me. She was right.
He's not shocked that we're standing in front of Strahd. He's shocked that I was right.
They hear a door lock from my little room. Click.
You hear a chair, and then click, click, and then a chair goes back again. Yeah, so you see this thing twist and contort, and it like just morphs, and you're finding it hard to hold this thing down, and all of a sudden it just sort of like shoots up, and like mist just sort of like shrouds and pours off of it as you're trying to hold this net down, and then there's just, it's too much force that you're unable to, so you're there holding this folded net as this man stands before you. Toddrick seems to jump away from this thing. And he looks a second at all of you, and then while still looking at Thorne, his left hand lurches out and grabs Donovich by the throat, and he pulls him close. And Thorne, you hear him say, "You kept my boy for well over a year. What were you thinking?" And you just hear as Donovich is being choked.
Oh, I'm gonna drop the net
Mm-hmm.
and blow my great axe.
Okay. Yeah,
And
he doesn't seem to care at all.
You're not supposed to do that to somebody's neck. You're gonna get in trouble.
He maintains this chokehold as he turns to you and just sort of looks amused that you exist.
She'll just, I mean, she does uncomfortable eye contact.
Yeah.
So, and she'll just be like, "Why were you a bat?"
All the while you hear this, and he looks to you and says, "It is one of many abilities that I possess. Why are you
Enjoy
a dragon?"
your stay.
I was born like this.
Well, as was I.
Okay, why are you hurting him? And do I have to cut your hand off to make it stop?
This sinister smile just stretches across his face and says, "You may try. And I hold this man because he kept a friend of mine."
I think you got some time there, Thorne, because this guy's got a lot of neck. Based on this picture, it's gonna take him like 10 whole turns.
Yeah.
His Constitution score is pretty high based on the way he looks.
It's a lot of Nick.
It's a lot of
You gotta
neck.
get around the whole thing.
Yeah, you gotta, like-
really.
Yeah, it's like grabbing a bulldog by the scruff.
He breaks eye contact from you, Thorne. When
She
you
doesn't
guys,
stop.
oh, go ahead.
Oh, she just doesn't stop staring at
Okay.
him.
Toddrick and Stewart, what are you guys doing?
Not liking the casual nature with which this guy became not a bat and started strangling a man
Mm-hmm.
without worried about the armed people all around him.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to pick out a way to extract the priest from this situation, I imagine,
Sure.
but only tactically and only in his head.
only in practice. Only in theory.
Yeah.
Toddy, what are you doing? Moistening your robes?
Yeah, and shit, my britches.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna try to call out to Nanny and tell her the bat is gone. Nanny, get out here now.
Okay, Nanny's going to, oh, thank goodness then. And, oh no.
She added locks to the door.
Yeah, no, she's just, taking them all off as you do.
There's a lot more noises coming out of there than there was going in.
And she's going to stand out. Oh, thank goodness that bat is gone there. Oh, sweet Jesus! And she sees the vampire guy.
Yeah.
Uh,
For a second, he looks to you and notices that you're there. And then he turns back to Irina and he raises his right hand. All the while...
does it look like he's about to attack Irina?
Nope, he just puts his hand out towards her, like a upward palm, and he puts his hand out as if to hold hers, and he says, "Come with me, my dear. Everything will be much better if you just come with me." And you see her like take a step back, away from him.
Don't do it. He's evil.
Thorne will get between him and her.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. He puts his hand back down and he says, "You outsiders want to make this more difficult than it should be. Always. Every time."
This
Nanny
is
cast
my
mage
first
armor.
time.
And he cast nothing. What did Nanny cast?
Mage armor.
Okay, you just shink down.
Ching.
Toddrick, I see you moving in. What are you doing?
I'm gonna introduce myself and just be like,
Hello, my name's Toddrick, and you would happen to be?
He drops his hand that he was offering out to Irina, and then lowers down to your height. The entire time, he still maintains the choke and lowers the priest with him, and looks to you and like squints at you. He says, "I know exactly who you are. This isn't the first time we've met."
Yeah, no, I got that. I just want I'm double checking, and you know how you gotta do it. Right? Just So you got this stuff.
"Oh, I have plenty of stuff in store for you. Don't worry. You, your friends, your family, everyone."
Oh, okay, so that was like a figurative threat. It wasn't actually it had some stuff for me. Okay.
He rises again to his full height and says, "Your friend has jokes. We'll see who has the last laugh." And his whole body becomes like incorporeal, like he becomes transparent, and then like almost as if turning into water, he just turns into mist, and the entire room fills with fog. And it all begins to move towards Stewart Gibbs. And for a second, Stewart, you are just surrounded by this mist, and it almost like envelops you, like twists around you before moving out the window behind you.
When the
Did he take the priest?
Nope, the priest is still there. Just now on the ground. Choking and sputtering.
I think the father might have shit his pants.
Yeah, as soon as the fog went up, she would have reached around and grabbed Irina's arm, just to make sure she wouldn't lose her. You know, and just hold on and wait until the fog cleared before she let go.
Yep, the fog just seems to, like, once it fills the room, it seems to just recoalesce and start to move towards Stewart. You guys all feel like this cold chill as it's, like, around your knee and down.
Ugh, I hate guys like this.
You've met guys who used to be bats and might be something else?
No.
Yes, I have. I may have. Oh, you're talking to her. I thought you were talking to me.
No, you keep going.
How about instead we talk to this man? Hello, and I run over to Father Donovich.
Wait, is it still moving toward Stewart?
Oh,
So it basically wraps Stewart up and then like kind of moves over the top of him and out towards the window behind him.
okay, escaped.
I don't think there's any. I don't have any way of.
You don't have a mist net?
I do not have a mist net.
Okay.
No, that's a legendary item.
I believe it's just called a cup.
Yeah.
Yep.
No. Someday, Team Net will
We'll
totally
make a mist
have.
net.
We'll have a mist net. Yeah.
I dig it.
Yeah.
Todd's going to ask Stewart, did he smell like anything?
I'm having a real hard time smelling anything else right now. What was he supposed to smell like?
I would assume death and maybe bat. I don't know. It kind of seemed like a nice question to ask. Are you okay? Are you okay? As I guess is making sure you have all your faculties. If you can smell, if you can see, if you can feel.
Am I okay? What the fuck was that? I've seen some shit, Toddy.
Yeah, well, Batman chokes Fat Man falls to knee. And we don't know what's next for us here. It's just going to happen. We got to let it go. And
there's still this fucking grave out back. We didn't get to that. We're not here. We're not there. I'm going to need a minute.
all right, take your time.
So, Nanny, you said you go over to see Father Donovich.
Yeah.
He is on his knees, and he's basically holding his throat and coughing and sputtering. And as you go to see him, you can see that, like, he has those, basically ligature marks of where a human hand was wrapped around him. But at the point of each hand, you can see that a nail was biting into his flesh.
I kind of look at who was that man? Who is that man who was the bat and then tried to kill you?
He looks up at you. That was Strahd von Zarovich.
It's the dun 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 as the camera zooms in on Nanny. I
like
know
that's
that name. Yeah. Bring, bring, bring. Oh, shit! I know that name. And I hold up the book. It's him. It's him. It's the bad guy. It's the man who's been snatching up children and doing all kinds of bad things. That was the bad guy.
Toddrick, you immediately recognize him as both the man from the dream you had when you were flying, as well as the statue of the orb you smashed.
Yeah, no, I knew when I asked him his name, I just wanted to hear him say it. But he didn't. I was hoping it was going to be like a Rumpelstiltskin thing. Maybe if I made him say his own name, he would He would disappear. We wouldn't have to fight him.
I mean, that sort of happened.
Yeah, but yeah, I knew exactly who it was. I will probably eventually regale the tale of the dream world I had.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I think I told the guys, or I told Stewart at least about the statue looking at me.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Yeah, and he brushed it off.
Yeah, and then the dream world thing. Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, when you're not staring down Strahd.
Yeah. When we're not having to clean up priest poop.
Yeah. Just the priest poop. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's who it was.
Yeah. So
Todd kicks his poop in the priest pile.
So sorry, Stewart, you are taking a minute to collect yourself.
Yeah, He's probably all cool about it though. He's got his back turned to everybody. He's gone to the window, like he's watching whatever going on out there. But
but really, he's taking a breather and crying a little.
Yeah, a little bit. He's shaking.
Thorne, you are protecting Irina. You have like a protective arm around her.
Yeah, until he's gone, until like the mist is gone.
Yeah. The longer you guys wait, the less and less mist seems to be in this room. It seems to be dissipating. Toddrick, what are you doing?
I'll probably be walking over to Stewart, just checking on him.
Okay.
Giving him like a, "You okay, buddy?"
Like a little dwarven pep talk.
Yeah, making sure that the vapor cloud of straw didn't turn him all emo.
It did.
Toddrick, that fucking guy didn't care that we were here. At all.
Yeah, he didn't seem to be bothered by the fact that there was a giant dragon with an axe telling him he's going to chop our arm off.
We had him surrounded, except Nanny, but...
Yeah. I believe this one's going to be a little bit harder than a trash monster. What are our options to it?
Well, there's clearly no going back home, because that's my suggestion.
Forward then, right?
I guess wherever it leads us.
Let's just try not to piss that one off again. Huh?
Yeah. Out of his way is the best place to be.
Wait. Strahd referred to the priest's son as his boy.
Nanny, you're on the floor, kind of consoling the priest. You're hearing all of this. Actually, in fact, I think, you're all hearing this conversation. It's in whispers, but you're all in a small, confined space.
Yeah. Said it was his, whatever.
I look to the priest and tell him, what do we do to stop him? Referring to Strahd.
He looks up to you with, just fear, and he says, You run. You run, and you hide, or you die.
She kind of stands up and hands on her hip. Oh! Now we all run away. Now we abandon, because it seems like you've all been staying in this town as long as you possibly can when there's zombies popping up trying to eat you. I mean, obviously, there's people in this world that have some sense of courage among them. And I kind of stop, realize that I just shit myself earlier because of a bunch of bats.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously there's something we can do. There's a way he can be beaten. I mean, there are dead bodies popping up out of this graveyard, and you never left town because of that.
He looks up to you and says, He won't let us leave.
And why not?
I don't know.
Well, what happens when you try?
We die. No one who journeys into the mist comes back.
Well, how do you know they're dying, not just getting out?
Yeah, I'm good for not coming back.
We can hear their screams.
Oh,
Screams of joy, maybe, that they've escaped?
I don't think so.
I look to hobble on over this way. So, obviously this place is very dangerous. Can we see the castle from here?
Yeah, if you go to the window, you can.
Yeah. Obviously, he lives right up the hill right there. So, how about we work on getting as many people in this town away from this town, and then we can put our heads together somewhere safer then. Since he does like to kill people in mist. And we've been walking through a lot of mists lately.
You're saying this to whom?
The whole group.
Just everybody?
more or less.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but like those kind of guys, they're like they want you to watch. Like you know, and you go in the market and there's a guy and he has 3 cups and you try to guess which cup. I'm not allowed to play those games anymore, ever. But they taught me that sometimes people do that. They make you look somewhere else and then hide the thing. Words are hard.
Then he just kind of, it's okay there. It's okay, Thorne. I know it hurts. I know it
No,
hurts.
him like a bard on stage. Right?
Ah. He's tricksy. That's what you're saying.
Yes. And needs an audience. That
Oh. I see what you mean.
Stewart
Well,
stands
then.
there, a jaw agape, kind of waiting for translation.
Well then, what we'll do is we'll deprive him of his audience. And we'll hustle on back somewhere down the road and decide where to kill him from there. But I understand what you mean. He's very showy, very much of a showman.
and he showed us strength right away, which means he knows he has it, but also he has weakness.
Oh, strength against this one? And I point to the fat man. A zombie nearly killed him in one shot. So I mean, do you see how many rounds it took him to choke him? But still, I mean, I'm sure he's probably very strong. So what weakness? I did notice a weakness. What did you notice?
I have to think about it.
I go to the other two. Okay, we don't have 10 years to get this figured out then. So let's say we shoo out of here.
I have a thought. Stewart will turn to Irina.
Mm-hmm.
What did he want with you?
She looks to you, not surprised that you're asking, and she looks sad about it. And she takes a deep
Enjoy
breath and
your
looks at you and
stay.
says, "I don't think my brother was correct. I don't think he was sending his minions for my father. I think he was sending them for me."
So you're kind of zombie bait.
I think I'm bait for Strahd.
Oh, even better. Great. Super. And Stewart's just gonna kind of look down at Toddrick. You got anything here?
So, why would he be after you? I don't think we've got that answer from you.
I wish I knew.
Well, the only thing is for you to just come with us then. I mean, he's going to look around and be like, is that not what was going to happen anyway, right?
The attacks started a year, 7 months ago. I didn't get a reason.
No, was there anything, can you think, was there anything that happened just before the attack started?
No, he took the Red Wizard came. He took Doru. He took Narcissa. There was a knight. Someone else. He took them to fight Strahd. That was 2 years ago. A year later, we found Doru raving mad, and we assumed everyone was dead. About 6 months after that is when the attacks began.
Wait, how old was Narcissa?
Here we go again.
Yeah. Oh, we've had this conversation.
She was
No.
she was my age.
What's your age?
She looks like she's in her 20s.
Huh. Didn't he say that she was a kid? Did I remember that wrong?
No, he said he was his kid.
I thought he said that she was a small child.
No, the Father Donovich, said he referred to her as his child, not a small child. Both
okay.
Doru and Narcissa were in their 20s.
Okay, that just confused me. Sorry.
Yeah, they're of roughly equivalent age to like Ismark and Irina.
Okay.
He did say that. Nope, he only told Toddrick that. Sorry.
He only told me that.
Nope, he only told you that Irina was not the burgomaster's daughter.
Okay, yeah, I thought you meant he only told me that was his child or something. I was like,
No.
what? No.
Nope. Yeah, so that's what you guys know.
Okay. I'm bored. I'm hungry. Let's go.
Oh, yeah, another thing. We can't go yet. We got to go dig up Narcissa.
Okay. She'll just make sure everybody's okay and then go outside.
Nanny, that's the first time you're hearing that.
Oh. Have to go outside?
Yeah, I mean, I'd have probably approached this a little more delicately before Strahd, but
What time of the day is it?
It's day. It's daytime.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys woke up at like whatever the equivalent of dawn is and began walking towards this place. So it's probably at most like 10 in the morning.
Yeah. But it looks like 6:30 because it's just how.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Nanny, she'll step outside. Okay. Wait. Digging up Narcissa? What?
What'd you say about the magic, Toddrick?
It's the whole graveyard is just coated in a black aura, except for one grave. And I'll give you 2 guesses as to the name on that grave, and your first one might be right.
Well, since you're talking about Narcissa, wait. How could she be buried 2 places? I keep an eye on her. She hasn't left since. Oh shit! Just show me this grave.
You do realize that we've gone through a time traveling fog, fought dead ghost babies, and giant choky man. So
Giant choky fat man.
Yeah.
Choky fat man, yes.
So as you guys begin to leave, especially you, Auntie Nanny, you begin to like turn away from Father Donovich, and he grabs, like he hears this conversation. He's grabbing at your robes as you're starting to leave, and he looks up to you with just like defeat and sadness, having heard this conversation, and he just like croaks out, "Please, don't. You're not going to find what you're looking for.
What am I looking for?
There's nothing there." She's
Why
not
is-
there.
I look over to Thorne. Dig anyway, and I toss the cauldron towards her, with a little cooking kettle.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll go to the grave and start digging.
Yeah, he like as soon as you get there, as soon as you start walking, he's still weak and he like lurches out like on his knees and he's like no, and like stumbles forward, and then he like looks up to Auntie Nanny as you're leaving. He says, "There's no grave, there's no body.
Why is there no body?
She's not here."
Oh, I bet I know where she is then. Because I've been looking after her for the past 70 plus years of my life. So why is she marked over here?
'Cause she
In this weird, weird world?
she died here. We never recovered the body. Only Doru.
Oh, I go over to Toddrick and that's why apparently she's not there. That's why it doesn't glow. That's why it doesn't shine. That's why it doesn't glow. Anyway, but Thorne is still out there digging because, people are so weird here. Holding information, saying stuff they don't need to say. I just want to dig it up and check myself. I mean, Mr. Priest, if she's not there, then we're not doing any harm, of course. No. So Thorne, how's the digging going?
She's just chugging at it like a machine.
Great!
Yeah, she's just digging.
Yep. So Thorne, you're out there. You've been led to it. I assume Toddrick led you to it, most likely, or Stewart, sorry, led you over to it. And you're just digging with a cook pot.
I mean, and she can technically read.
That's true. Well, no, Toddrick knew where it was. You'd have to go through all the graves. Toddrick and Stewart knew exactly where it was. So I assume that Stewart probably led you over there, as Toddrick was discussing with Auntie Nanny.
Stewart's pretty well done with these fucking people, so
Yeah.
I don't give a shit anymore.
I assume you wanted to get out of that church as quick as possible as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, Toddrick, you are hearing this conversation. You are hearing a very fed up Auntie Nanny.
Listen, Nanny, maybe the man is right. Maybe he has something in there that he doesn't want us to find. But if it's all the same, maybe we just leave it alone.
I kind of look at him like, he's had a dead, chompy man locked up underneath his house. He's had dead people crawl up out of graves and attack people at night, and some of the stuff he just hasn't been very upfront about it. I mean, if worst case scenario, nothing there. If I'm giving him a chance to tell the truth.
Worst case scenario, we dig up the only thing that's holding his sanity together. And that's a place where he can go and remember his dead child.
Ooh, persuade me.
Toddrick's gonna open up his shirt a little. All right. Let's see how this goes.
Let's see. My charisma. It'd be. Ooh, that's perception.
Oh,
Still
it is
here.
perception. It is. Dang it.
Perceive me.
I see you.
Okay, 13. Okay, yeah, she'll
I mean, if I didn't pass you your own personal check.
Yeah, let's see. What would my what I do? I guess sense motive. I'll do sense motive or insight. That's the word.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. Yeah. Nanny starts crying. You're right. This poor, sad, fat man probably only has this to keep his sanity together in a place where there's no sanity left at all. She runs out the door. Thorne!
She's still digging away.
And she has a cauldron full of dirt.
Yeah.
She's dumping out.
Give me back my cooking ware. We'll leave the grave be.
She just looks at all the work she did.
Fill it back up, Thorne! I shout out. And then we will go.
She looks at all the pile of dirt. And she looks at Nanny and hands her the pot. And then goes back and starts filling it in very defiantly.
Like staring at her the whole time, just dragging it in the hole.
Like a little kid has been told to pick up his room, and he just does not want to, so he grabs it one toy block at a time, put it back in the toy chest.
She just stands there like this and just sweeps it in with her tail.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, so you spend some time doing that. Gibbs, you see this entire exchange happen. How are you feeling? You met Strahd. You were enraptured, quite literally, by Strahd. Yeah.
When Thorne starts making that face, Stewart makes his leave to go find Toddrick because he doesn't want to catch the daggers flying. But he's clearly still kind of troubled. He's got his grumpy face on. Probably more or less like my face.
Like your normal face?
Yeah. All right, Toddrick. Here's what I don't get. He doesn't let anybody leave. He wants the girl. We're supposed to take the girl to another town. This is our best plan.
It's just him. It's just him and Stewart, right?
If this is what we're doing, you know I got your back. I always got your back. But we're gonna fucking die.
Probably. Or maybe we're already dead, Stu.
Ah, shit.
Do you ever think of that?
Yeah. Oh, damn it, Dottie.
She's not his kid.
You sure?
What's her name?
Irina.
Irina is not Bob's child.
What do you mean?
The priest told me that she was found a long time ago. She doesn't know. Her brother doesn't know that she is not their father's child. Maybe she has some kind of connection with Strahd that even she doesn't know about.
He wants her. That can't be good. We don't let him have her. We're doing good.
Up until the point where we die, yeah.
Right.
But at least we can die with a clean conscience. I mean, that's pretty much all I'm about right now, is making sure I leave behind a good memory of myself.
Yeah, well, I'm going to die before you do. So,
Yeah.
bury me face down so the whole world can kiss my ass.
yeah. Wait, I'm not going to bury you. Someone's going to have to bury us.
Oh, all right, yeah.
If you die, I die. And if we both die, pretty sure Nanny's going to die too. Thorne might be smart enough to run, but I doubt it.
Thorne's gotten pretty good at digging up graves.
She excels at digging graves.
Well, I guess here's to the end.
And then we just I kind of put my fist up and he puts his fist up and we just invent the first fist bump.
Unfortunately, it's like top to bottom.
Yeah. You come down.
Yeah, it's just like the weirdest awkward fist bump ever.
Yep. Yeah, so in the time you guys have your bro off, Thorne has defiantly refilled the hole under Nanny's watchful eye. The priest still has like scratch marks in his throat, and he's being helped out of the church where you guys are having your conversation. He's being helped out of the church towards you guys by Irina. And she kind of looks to you, Stewart, and she says, Are we ready to leave?
I think we're good to go. Anybody want to buy, nice clean shirt to die in, or
I'm hungry.
you're all
You have 30 days of meat rations.
Yeah,
It's true.
those are rations. We're in town. You don't eat rations in town.
You bought the entire store of meat.
Which wasn't what I intended to do. I gave the money to Nanny so that she could make change for me. And she handed over all of my money. So I'm like,
Now you just have extra meat.
Yeah. I have no money. But
This isn't going to attract any random wolves or anything like that for encounters.
for
Hauling
sure.
around, we hauling around a magnet for the damn vampire and 30 pounds of just raw ass meat.
Yep.
We're not going to come
Raw?
across any. Oh,
No, it's cooked. It's like smoked meat and like
Oh,
just
turkey.
okay.
Yeah.
so tasty meat.
Yeah, so tastier meat than raw meat.
Yeah.
It's going to be fine.
Yeah. You really
Even
think
Even the
anybody
plants
could
attack.
get this meat away from Thorne?
It's true.
all-
Chew,
that's-
chew an arm off.
If we do an escort quest, we'll just like whoever it is we have to escort, we'll just make him go full Lady Gaga, coat him in meat, and just Thorne will never let anything bad happen to
There
him.
you go. Perfect.
You should do that because it would work.
You guys are the worst. Is there anything you guys want to do before you leave Barovia?
Eat.
Eat.
No, we eat on the road. I'm not getting caught out again after dark.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
That's fair. All right.
Go there.
So, I'm just gonna go sweep.
Sweep.
We're gonna go to Barovia,
Barovia.
the place where the town is the same name as the land.
The place. It's like Australia. It is a continent and also a country.
Yep,
Can you shipping us?
I can. You guys are there in Barovia.
Old Scarlet Road.
You're in Barovia. On Old Zvalich Road. And Stewart, you know that the priest told you that she was found in the Zvalich woods. Just so you know.
Toddrick does.
Toddrick knows that. What did I say? Did I say Stewart?
Yeah. You all.
God damn it. Toddrick knows that the priest said she was found in the Zvalich woods, and you guys are on Old Zvalich Road.
It's the curse of Tiberius.
Yeah. But it's my real life curse. With you two chuckleheads. Yeah. So cool. So you guys leave the village of Barovia. It's probably like 11 o'clock-ish in the morning at this point in time. You have Father Donovich in tow. You have Irina Kolyanovich in tow. Yeah. I think, for the most part, they both kind of lead from the middle, just sort of directing you where to go. Because you don't really have a cart. You were not outfitted with a cart or horses. You were kind of... Actually, you probably would have horses, because judging by this map, that place is far as hell away.
If we can get a cart, then our horse, and she looks at Toddrick.
Don't look at me.
But you can shapeshift, right? You're a dirt wizard.
Just call me a dirt wizard?
That's what they called you, kind of folk. Natural folk.
That's their word.
Only we can use that.
That one got me. Dirt wizard.
So he's just gonna... Well, I mean, how much is it gonna cost just to get horses?
I can pull it.
Oh,
So, to just take out a horse and cart, it's probably going to cost you. Let's call it. So they know you're going. You tell them you're going to Valaki, I assume. They tell you that it's going to cost you 2 gold per horse and 5 gold for the cart.
I have no money because I bought this pearl that I use for spells.
Yes, and Thorne has no money because she bought 30 days worth of meat.
Both are necessities.
I have no money because I've never had any money.
Stewart, the dirt wizard. What's your fun situation looking like?
Toddrick,
I've got 10 gold pieces.
Well, it costs you a total of 9 for 2 horses and a cart. You could get away with 1 horse.
And you can be the other horse.
Or you could get away with 0 horses and you could be the other horse, depending on
Yeah, but
if you want to take it slow.
we were gonna do 2 horses and a cart, and we're like, or we could just be cheap, get a cart, and you can just do twice the work.
Thorne offered to pull it as well.
Yep.
But I feel like being a dwarf, like I turn into a horse, and it's pretty much just like a Shetland pony.
Just a stocky draft Shetland pony.
Yeah.
It's less of a cart, more of like a wagon, like
Yeah.
a little Red Rider wagon.
Yeah.
And I'll turn into a horse.
Okay, so you're buying no horses?
I'm buying no horses and a cart.
Okay, so it's 5 gold to rent a cart.
Okay, I'll just knock that down to 5. Oh, no, that is 15. 5. All right, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it really helps when you put nothing on the cart. That makes it go much faster. So Donovich walks beside it. Irina walks beside it. I assume Thorne and Stewart walk beside it. And I assume that Nanny rides in it.
Yeah.
Because she has
She
all the
does.
bones.
I have so old hands. My old hands.
I mean, Stewart probably rides the cart for a little bit at first,
Yeah.
just because Toddrick has to pull it, and that's
Yeah.
funny to him. But
So, Toddrick, this is the first time you've shapeshifted in front of your friends, and in a while for yourself. What does it look like when you shapeshift, and what does this Toddrick pony look like? This Toddrick draft horse.
Toddrick draft horse. He'll stand there in between the cart, like the yoke and stuff, and he concentrates, and then all of a sudden his head explodes into a horse head, and he kind of like has to, and then and as he's falling, his legs will go into horse mode, and then he becomes a horse, and it's a nice chocolate coated horse
Mhm.
with little swirl. He kind of looks like a funny bone, with like the with the little peanut butter swirls going around the side,
Mhm.
and he's got a nice flowing blonde mane. But he doesn't have his Radagast shit covered overcoat is just draped across him, hit the back of him,
Okay. So you
with
are
his legs still in the.
He's definitely not a Clydesdale.
yeah. So you are still wearing your robes, as you were saying, like a cape on the horse, and you are a chestnut brown colt.
Peanut butter swirled.
Colt with light brown patches is what I'm getting out of this. Is that what I'm picking up?
Pretty much.
Oh, perfect. That's good stuff.
He's our Burrow Druid.
Burrow Druid. Get out.
magnificent.
Yeah, so you guys are at the outskirts of the village of Barovia. I believe you start with both Stewart and Auntie Nanny inside the cart as you're pulling them. I also assume that every once in a while you just stop and stamp your feet and then look back at them and then trudge on.
Feed it oats.
Yeah, and also sometimes I'll wait until I hear Stewart like yawn, and then I'll horse fart.
Yep. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that.
I'm gonna patrol the cart on all sides as we go.
Okay. You just keep circling it, doing laps around it?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, so you guys start on a road, and it's easy enough to travel. You guys make your way downtown, passing crowds, out of the town, out of the village of Barovia, and down the road. Your first big intersection is the Eveless River, and you see this large, wide, flowing river that you didn't see upon entering this strange land, but you see now crosses over a wide set stone bridge that spans between these 2 points. I don't know what Toddrick is losing his mind about. Oh god, there's a picture. Oh god. Well, this has to go on stream now. So.
No, it really doesn't.
That is a horse. That's horse Toddrick. A little fat Shetland pony. Chocolate brown mare with a hair clip. I imagine you have a hair clip as well. Yeah. You're muted. Well,
I would probably ask Stewart to braid it.
as your horse farting on him. Okay, so now that we have the first ever dwarf Shetland pony in the history of Dungeons and Dragons, you guys make it to the Iblis River. It's about a 50-foot wide river as you guys get up to it, and there is an arching stone bridge that spans the river. You guys easily cross over that, and you descend into the Svalich Woods. Now, the road still continues, but what you saw as this dawnish, dusky, overtoned daylight sort of starts to darken as you enter underneath the boughs of these trees. You guys are going for some time. You're kind of clipping along. I assume, Thorne, you're kind of leading the group because you're doing your circles around, and every once in a while, if you look back to Donovich and Irina, they confidently lead you along in the right direction, thereby leading Toddrick the horse in the appropriate direction as well. You guys, let's see here. You guys are about here, just so we know you are. You guys are in the Svalich Woods. You guys make your way out of the Svalich Woods to a point where you see a crossroads. The road goes in three ways. Back the way you came, it goes to the northwest, and goes to the southwest. As you guys arrive, everyone make me a perception check.
I can manage that.
Even Horsrick. And 1 4. There we go. Cool. So, it appears as though Auntie Nanny has fallen asleep. Toddrick is too busy being a horse. However, Thorne and Stewart, you all notice as you begin to break the woods into an open clearing, so to speak. You see the land just rises to the west, just higher and higher, like hills into mountain. Excuse me, and you guys hear this like this creaking noise, and as you guys enter this crossroads, you see that there is a wooden gallows erected there, and there is a rope, a frayed length of rope with nothing on the end of it, no loop, no nothing, and it's just sort of swinging in the wind. And on the opposite side of the 3 points of this place, you see oh no, I forgot the name of it. You see this, it's like a large pole with a hook on it, and there's a cage, and inside the cage is the skeletal remains of a person. Also, just swaying in the wind. Crow cage, I think that's what they're called. Something like that.
Okay, yeah.
A gibbet.
A gibbet.
Is that it?
Thank you. A
Because
gibbet.
I just Googled that.
Yep. It's
I
To
will-
look smart.
like from that one movie with all of the Toddricks in it.
I'll go up to the
Willow.
the noose,
Okay.
and I will poke it with my javelin.
Yep, it is just so there's no actual noose. There is just a rope hanging down that's frayed at the end, and it's just sort of swinging back and forth. So you poke it, and it just sort of sways with that as well, just sort of wiggling around.
Is the trap door under the rope open?
It is open.
Do I see anybody down there?
You do not.
No skeletons.
No
remains?
skeletal remains of any kind.
Okay.
Yeah, you just see this awkward, just swaying in the wind, this macabre scene. You do see a skeleton inside the gibbet. But, yeah.
Can I poke
Well, go
my
ahead.
javelin?
You
Can I
poke that
poke-
with a javelin as well? Yeah, so you poke it and it's like ting! It's a wrought iron, and it's, again, sways, and the bones shift and rattle a little bit as you kind of jimmy it in a different direction.
I want to poke the bones specifically.
Okay, you do, and they sort of jiggle around, and if you keep poking them, pieces of bone will fall out from the base of the cage.
I was just making sure that it was going to stay dead.
Yeah. Essentially, it looks like like a basket, basically made out of wrought iron. So it comes out like a bird cage, except the bottom is just like bands of wrought iron. So there's little holes in the bottom as well. Stewart, you also notice that there is a signpost, a weathered signpost, upon which points towards the east, the direction you came from. Says Barovia Village. One points to the northwest, and that says Tesserpool. And then one points to the southwest, and that says Ravenloft/Vallaki.
All right, it's been a long couple of days, maybe one long day, maybe several. I don't even remember anymore. Where are we going?
You're going Vallaki.
Yeah, Vallaki.
Just, Toddrick, little buddy, we should keep going. This place is depressing.
As you guys are like looking, which direction to go, you see Father Donovich kind of sidles up to wherever you are, Stewart, and he says, I will warn you that the path to Vallaki is a long and winding road. The one to the Tesser Pool, the road ends, but there's a footpath that leads to the other bridge and the Iglis River, where these two paths meet up. This path is faster, but it travels through the woods, and is often inhabited by the Vistani people.
They were the ones with the fancy drinks back there, right? Yeah.
Do they like you?
I don't know.
Enjoy your
Everybody
stay.
else here, I'm kind of good with that. What about you guys?
I'm different than anybody else here.
That's true. And we're hanging out with you, right?
Yeah, maybe they'll... What is better, the road or the forest?
Todd's gonna say the road, definitely the road.
Todd is going to neigh.
He's gonna neigh and kind of like head tilt towards the road.
I mean,
because
narratively,
he doesn't-
you can shift out and shift back. As I unplug my headset.
So can I message him?
You can shift out and shift back if you so choose to have a conversation.
Can I cast message on him and have like a little mental?
You can do that as well.
Okay. Yeah. Hello, Toddrick. This is Nanny.
Hey, Nanny.
Which way are you feeling like going?
I don't really want to walk through the forest carrying this cart, so
Road? You want to go down the road?
yeah.
Go down the road. Okay. I'll tell you when you want to go down the road. Okay, everyone. I'll talk to everybody.
I'm not. I'm not too certain that we're not being followed by maybe some people from the town or something.
Okay, so I guess the road will be better then because we can see, we can have a wider view, and they can't snatch us into trees or nothing. And I don't know how long you've been a horse, but maybe it'd be easier for you if we stay on the road. I don't know if you quite have your forest dragon hooves yet.
Yeah, that would be best. And like I said, more open area. If we're being followed or watched, it's be much easier to find them out here on the road. I can tell you that.
Alrighty, I'll tell the group. Okay, everyone, I've just talked to Toddrick with my mind powers, and he says that it'd be best if we perhaps take the road because people can't sneak up on us as easily. And I think that just as most horses go, they do better on roads.
Everyone make me a perception check.
Oh, shit.
Toddrick, you in horse form hear as a crow, which was sitting on top of the gallows, extends its great big wings and takes flight and just sort of arcs over the top of you guys. Auntie Nanny, you see this as well. Arcs over you guys and lands on what looks to be a rounded stone. But on closer inspection, actually everyone sees that happen. On closer inspection, Toddrick and Auntie Nanny, you realize that this has landed on what appears to be an unmarked gravestone.
Ooh.
I growl at the large bird.
It cocks its head to the side at you all. Well, I mean, just in your general direction, and then.
You know what? Damn it! I took off speak with animals because that's me, right?
Maybe Toddrick, can you speak to it in your horse language? Does it understand?
Taj come look at it and just go.
You still have message. You can still talk to it. Oh, you talked about the bird in horse language?
yeah. I'll just start neighing at the bird.
Yeah, the bird just.
What did he say? I asked Toddrick.
But he's neighing in like a heavy Scottish accent, so he's like, nay,
Nay.
nay.
No.
Wilbur. Wilbur.
I'm a bit afraid of large birds. This is not a very large bird. I mean, this is a large crow.
It's a large crow, yeah. Like you ever see like a big fat crow? Like
But
this
it's not
has had some food to it.
It's not bigger than me.
No.
Those are the ones that are
Yeah.
really. But
Yeah.
large birds in general, she doesn't like. So she has definitely identified this one as a snack.
Mhm.
So she'll be creeping up on it.
Toddrick's probably
behind.
gonna phase back into being human.
Okay. So you just what does that look like?
Oh god.
It starts with the legs get short. I mean, I know we saw the mini horse, but really, it's just a freaking draft horse. The legs, he just goes. So all of a sudden, he's a big horse with little bitty legs,
Mm-hmm.
and then his head goes back to dwarf form first, and then that's when he looks at Stewart because now I can speak, right? And he goes, "Oh, this part always hurts."
Oh, don't talk to me while you're doing it.
I want you. You got to look at me.
Oh, it's so
Watch me.
uncomfortable.
Watch me. Yeah, and the whole body just kind of like twists back into like human forms, and
Ugh.
the hooves go and turn back into fingers.
Everyone describes druid forms
God.
gross.
Yeah. He's like,
Great.
he tries to talk. He's like, real life. Sorry, I'm a little horse. And then he's gonna kind of.
Strahd comes and kills everyone. That's what happens. Yeah. Weird. How that happened.
And I'm not sad.
Yeah, and he's gonna tell. It's fucking Thorne. There you go. He's like, oh, there. Hold on. Let's not eat it, please. Let's not eat it. Okay. And he's gonna
I see
and,
that look.
and,
It's like and maybe instead of eating it, we should see what's under that grave.
yeah, he's gonna look at Stewart, kind of give like a follow me, and then he's gonna look at Nani, and be like, get your pots ready.
I take out my pot and I hand it over to Thorne. Since
She
you're
doesn't take it.
Thorne.
She has her hands tucked in.
I'm like pushing it at her face. Thorne. Thorne, take.
Defiantly against digging.
I
for you.
turned it upside down and put it on top of her head.
It
Skyrim
doesn't
style.
fit quite. Just sort of dangles on the side.
She has like horns, and
Yeah.
then she has the skull.
The skull, yeah. So it just sort of like gets on one horn.
And then he just goes, oh, Daisy. And I poof, my unseen servant.
Who removes it off of Thorne's head and
Yeah.
begins to walk over there with the pot.
Daisy, start digging.
As the pot begins to hover closer, the crow again and takes flight and lands on the signpost. Does anyone else go over to the grave?
I'm going to be watching the bird.
Okay.
Stewart's probably watching the sun get a gauge of
Okay.
time.
Toddrick, what about you?
Oh yeah,
You're going over to the where the
Oh
bird?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Oh wait, where the bird? I was going over to the grave.
Yeah, to the grave, where the bird was.
Yeah,
So
where the
you
bird
begin
was,
to
yeah.
walk over there, and you see that there is a lot of brush and like shrubbery is the word I was looking for. There's a low bushery. There's a low crumbling wall, sort of like already caved in places, that partially encloses a small plot of graves, each one shrouded in like fog. There appear to be 12 graves here. And as you look closely, you see that every one of the small stones are unmarked. Your best guess is these graves are for those gallows.
So they're unmarked completely, no names, nothing.
No. I mean, there's varying size stones, but you're pretty sure that's not a demarcation. That's more of a matter of convenience.
I'm gonna look up at the bird and just straight blatantly look at the bird. Go, do I know you?
It cocks its head, looks like at you, pecks at the sign, and then looks back at you and says, "Arr!"
What sound did it land on?
Roll me perception.
Oh. It might be telling us where to go.
You look as it pecks down, Toddrick, and it landed on the one going to the northwest. The one that says Tesserpool.
Now, is that the jungle road or is that
That is the forest road.
forest road? Gotcha. After the bird squawks and pecks the sign and then squawks again, I don't really understand bird. But I do know a sign when I see it.
And that
Okay.
sign says Tesser Road.
And then this one says Tessa Road. It looks like I'm going to the forest. And he's going to like sulk back as he's like slowly changes back into horse form.
I mean, you can have Thorne pull it.
Yeah, you can.
It's only a small cart. It's like a wagon.
What are we even toting out of anyways? Why would we even get it? All we're hauling is the meat.
You. The only thing that's in it is you.
Well, I mean, we have supplies.
I figured Thorne's food was in there.
Yeah. Thorne's 30 days of rations and
She
Auntie
can
Nanny
tote
are
it.
Yeah.
Okay, no, he's not gonna. Okay, so I'm not gonna change back into horse. I'm just gonna be like, Thorne, you gotta pull it. We're going through the forest. My hooves ache. I need a little break.
My hooves ache.
My hooves, clippity clop.
She just looks at him for a minute and she's like, good manners to say please. And she picks up the cart and gets ready to pull.
I mean, she's not wrong.
Yeah, she's not wrong, but she also eats everything.
So do you.
Yeah, but I mean, at least I'll put mayonnaise on it first.
All right, I'll give you that.
That's the end of the
I mean, we're not savages.
The corn thing's a little weird, though.
So you guys grab the cart and you head northwest. Is that right? You're heading towards the Tesser Pools.
Yeah.
As soon as you like angle yourselves towards the Tesser Pools, you notice that the crow takes off, and with one more, "Wah!" it begins flying over the forest in that direction. And you guys proceed. Thorne, you have your inside. You're pulling the yoke, or pushing from the yoke, pulling the cart behind you. You guys turn down, and the road seems, narrower, and the forest is just as thick as when you were traveling through the Svalbard woods. It's just thick around you, and it gets darker and darker as you travel through. Relatively quiet, almost strangely quiet. Like there's not a lot of animal noises. And you didn't hear that the last time you passed through the woods either. There's no like chittering of small woodland creatures. There's no birds. Except for that one strange crow you found, but there's no like normal woodland noises. So you guys start to proceed down the road, leaving the gallows behind. You hear
I
the
think-
same behind you.
I think Stewart's like looking back, looking at the sun, looking back, trying to gauge like how much distance he can put between them and another graveyard before night falls.
That's fair.
I don't like the feel of this place, you guys.
Roll me a perception.
All of us?
Just Stewart for now.
Okay.
Stewart, you look back and you swear you see something. At first, you look back and you guys are just started to enter the woods, so the gallows is just out of sight. It's just beginning to like come out of sight. It's getting smaller and smaller. You're looking around. You look at the sun. You look back. You glance back towards the grave sites, and like as you're turning back, you swear that you see that there is a body in that gallows.
Enjoy your stay.
Yeah, no, I don't think Stewart's mentioning it. We're leaving. He'll probably like shake it off, walk up next to Thorne, and put a shoulder into whatever she's using to help.
So you push along.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you push along, helping Thorne try to get this out of there as quickly as possible. You guys descend into the forest, and it gets darker and darker as you go. You can no longer see whether the sun is setting or it is rising. Everything is this dull, like, grays. Some would say at least 50 shades of gray. As you begin to make your way down this slowly thinning road until the road gives way to small bits of underbrush and becomes basically a footpath, and you guys are like bumping along every once in a while, hitting a slight rock and jimmying the cart out of place. So yeah, the road is gradually disappears and is replaced by this twisted, knotted, muddy path through the trees. There are actual, as you start to go, you see that there are deep ruts in the earth that seem to be that other people have taken this path with wagons. There appear to be like the branches up overhead begin to like intermingle, and there's a thin, wispy mist on the ground around you guys. And as you break through the woods, you see that there are dark, rolling black clouds ahead, above you guys. But you do break through the woods, and you see that there is a clearing. And the clearing is right next to, you see water, you hear the sound of water running by you, and you see this clearing give way to a lake that twists off into a river. And as you guys begin to like look down this area, you see, because it slopes down, you see that there are lights. You see colorful lights. And as you look closer, you see that there are several hooded or covered wagons. And as you're kind of like looking and scrutinizing what you're seeing, you see that the lights are like twinkling, and you can hear the faint sound of music on the air.
Well, when we were going through that, I would have insisted that everybody get in the cart if they weren't helping you pull, just to keep everybody in one place.
Sure.
I'd have already been in the car.
Yeah.
And
keep
Nanny
everybody
has
in the
old
cart.
bones, so.
Yeah.
Well, we still have Irina, too.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, Irina and Donovich, they'll get in the cart as well as you guys. It's slow going once everyone gets in the cart. It's the weight of 4 bodies, but now that you have Stewart helping you push, you get stuck a few times in the mud, but you guys easily lift it and pull with the strength of the two of you guys. But yeah, you guys make your way out of the forest where it begins to just become this nasty, muddy area where you are now like down by the banks of a lake and a river, and you see in the distance, probably a good like 100 feet out, you see these like down below you guys. You see these carts, and you see these strange lights.
We should go to the lights.
Seems like a good plan.
Maybe we should bring some light with us. And I hold my hands up like, spellcast? You don't cast spells?
And she tilts her head down so you can cast it on the skull.
I kind of think, do we want Thorne
to be the very first thing they see when we come strolling into their town.
Yeah,
Right.
let alone with a glowing skull on her head. That's what they're going to see from so far away. It's just a glowing skull.
Come in.
And then when it's attached to a big black dragon.
How about
Yeah,
something?
how else are they gonna know that I'm badass?
We'll tell them, don't worry.
I look over. How about you then? I look at Arena and like grab like a stick, boop, light it, give it to her.
Yeah, she takes it and holds it. She says, I will be... Yes, I can do that.
You're normal, I think.
She looks at you, confused that you're not normal, and takes the stick from you. Yeah, she holds that, and she hops out of the cart and begins to, out of the wagon and begins to walk in front, sort of leading you guys down there. As you get down there, you guys see that there are 5 large tents. These are pretty decent sized, tents, and they're all like crazy colors. Like there's like it's like Aerosmith's microphone stand. Lots of like ribbons and scarves, and just it looks like a patchwork of tentery. There's 5 of them, all distinctly different, all in a circle. All in a circle outside of 4 essentially like barrel-topped wagons, like the wooden covered wagon, like the one from that Stromboli.
Oregon Trail.
Yeah, no, those are like the cloth ones, the covered wagons. These are like the ones that Stromboli drove in Pinocchio.
Yeah,
wooden. The whole thing's wooden. Yeah, so there's that. Around 4 of those, and then in the center there is a much larger tent that's more towards like the shore of the lake. That's like sagging and lit from. It's huge. It's this much larger one that's lit from within. And outside this tent are just 8 horses, no bridles, not tied up at all, just slowly drinking from the river. And as you guys get closer, you hear the wah, wah, wah of like an accordion and several singing voices of various pitch and key and ability to sing. And the footpath continues past this camp. But you see the river and the lake right here, and the sounds of revelry.
Ooh, they sound quite happy there, don't they?
Creepily happy. Yeah.
Well, they either are the monsters or they don't have to worry about monsters. I'm really hoping they don't have to worry about monsters. Because if they are the monsters, we're going to have to fight.
I'd rather fight these happy monsters than ornery, angry monsters.
That's
Well, a happy monster means they don't have much to worry about. So if they're not worried about much, they might not have to worry about us.
That sounds good. Irina,
Yes.
go, let them know that there are adventurers out here, and we are seeking shelter for the upcoming night.
She kind of looks nervous, but she takes the light stick and she nods to you and she says, "Yes, I'll tell them. It's probably safer here than on the road." Okay, and then she begins to walk off.
If they try to hurt you, just yell. Because Thorne will stay just out of close,
Yep.
but she won't just out of sight.
Okay. Yeah, so she takes the walking stick and she looks back a second time and and then walks in. And it's a good 5 minutes of just tense waiting game where you're just sitting there. You're all kind of looking at Donovan, looking at each other. You're looking at the camp to see if she comes back. And then on the outer rim, just before it's enough time before Thorne runs in, you see a figure on the outer rim of tents just sort of waving a light stick back and forth. Looks like you are being welcomed into the camp.
Ooh.
Okay. Well, Thorne will, take the stuff out of the cart and put the cart off to the side.
Mm-hmm.
She'll pack herself up, but she'll hang back.
Okay, so you go in last?
Yeah.
Okay.
And very slowly.
Yeah, Donovich will help you with anything you need because he doesn't really have anything with him. So he'll help you carry any of the foodstuffs that you're bringing with you. The rest of you 3, what are you guys doing?
Nanny is probably going to make herself look as peasanty and as one of the good old folk as possible.
Okay.
She's got her broom out, her cooking pot out, kind of like on her back, barefoot.
And you normally wear like browns and grays, right? You're not like flashy.
Yeah, it's patchwork stuff.
Okay.
Who knows? She might get some colorful stuff when she leaves.
Sure.
She might become one of these little gypsy people.
Sure.
And she just marches on in.
Toddrick and Stewart.
Stewart's probably removing some of his regalia, the colors that defined him as a guard, the things that got real fucking dirty, and folding them up nicely and handing them to Auntie Nanny. I hope they'll be done by morning.
Oh, these are very nasty. They're very nasty indeed. Daisy!
Daisy comes, holding your pot still.
Wash these in the lake. And I toss them.
Yep, she catches them in the pot, and you just see the pot begin to toddle after you guys.
These people are going to be very freaked out when they see Daisy out there
Floating
doing laundry.
Toddrick,
they are.
what about you?
This is
Toddrick already looks like a homeless piece of shit, so he's just gonna like kind of dust off the dirty brown coat that he's wearing.
Yep.
And
Clean the horse farts out of it.
yeah. And he's gonna wait for Stewart to get done doffing his armor, and he's gonna walk up with Stewart.
Sure.
I imagine Stewart's still armored, just the cloth parts of what he'd been wearing.
Yep.
So you're like naked underneath your armor?
Well, there'll be chafing, but
It's room to breathe.
Yeah, but whenever the bits like chomp down,
He'll be fine. He's used to
Yeah.
it.
yeah.
He likes it rough. So you guys walk down towards this camp, and as you get closer, the music gets louder, the singing gets louder, and you guys can tell that there is some drunken revelry happening. As you get closer to the firelight, which is just outside the largest tent, you see that there are, at least by your guess, 12 people, all dressed like their tents are made. Random, colorful, bright patchwork scarves around their heads, scarves hanging from their belts, various length of pant, and they are... there's a few sitting around the firelight. There's a few standing and dancing. There's one man playing an accordion, and they are all passing around those similar wine bottles as Toddrick saw in the bar, where it is basically straw bottom, and that kind of goes up to the top, and there's like wax that's stripped all on the side. These look like they're homemade wine bottles of some kind. Yeah, you see, as you guys walk in, and then the light catches your eye, you see that there are 3 people around the fire, and they all look to you with bright smiles, and they wave you down towards them.
Nanny goes.
Yep. Your unseen servant immediately, you see the pot turn towards you, and then turns back towards the lake, and then you just see the pot begin walking towards the lake. Presumably to go wash your clothes or drown them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Deals were struck. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Deals are struck.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen to the clothes afterwards if you get them back. You might have to get some flashy, showy, colorful Harlequin outfits.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fitting.
Yep. So yeah, you guys make your way down there. The music is like every single cart is all there. As you walk through, where the horses would be tied up to the cart to pull the cart, like the yokes. That's the word I was looking for. They all face out, and as you walk in, the way they're circled around, there's actually like doors with like a handle on them. These carts are entirely wooden, and you walk in. On the back of every single cart, there are like lanterns hung, but the lanterns are all stained glass lanterns, and every lantern is a different color. And there's at least 2 on every one of the 4, on every one of the 4 carts. Just sort of casting fun lights all over the place. Plus, you have the firelight going in the middle. You have people dancing and drinking. As soon as whoever's first to get there, I think it was Stewart. Stewart, as soon as you walk in, sort of clanking with your padding no longer protecting you, you sort of walk with a bit more of a clank. One of the drunker people walks over to you and says, "Hey, this is the time for revelry. Have this." And he like thrusts one of the wine bottles into your hand.
No hesitation.
Yeah.
Stewart upends the bottle into his mouth.
Yep, it is delicious. It is the perfect amount of sweet and alcohol-y wine taste. It sticks to your mouth, and just the flavor remains after you drink this.
He'll probably drink longer than is polite, and then hand the bottle back. You are my favorite people I have met since I've gotten here.
He says, and you are our favorite people as well. Come sit with us, drink, tell stories, have a song. What can you do? Can you play?
I don't play. Toddrick, he plays an instrument you've probably never heard of.
And you see him, like, he takes the bottle out of your hand and squats down and hands it to Toddrick and says, "What do you play?"
Toddrick's going to just take the bottle and go,
"Well, we have plenty more where that came from. Drink. And he stands up and he sees Thorne in the background, like a few paces behind everybody, kind of shadowed. He says, "And you, my friend, my ferocious friend, you, what do you play? Come play and drink. Tell us a story."
She kind of slowly shuffles up, waiting to be told to leave.
As you shuffle up with your bone regalia out there, you see no shock at all from this person, and he like kind of cocks his head to the side with your hesitance, and he says, "No, this is a place for outsiders." And he like rummages and he pulls off a set of beads that are just like on him somewhere, and he puts it on your skull.
Uh-oh. Mardi Gras.
That immediately just wins her over. She's like, I don't play music, but I do fancy fighting stuff.
Okay, well, I think I can work with that. Come, and you. Oh, I'm sorry. Is this your matron? And he points over towards Auntie Nanny.
Me.
Nanny's going to curtsy. I maintain and I clean and I do all sorts of wonderful things to make sure everything is in tip-top shape, like so. And I'm obviously see this guy's easily wowed by stuff, so I'm going to like just use like mage hand to like scoop a bunch of empty bottles up and go put them into like a wash basin or something.
Yeah. He looks to you amazed, clearly drunk, and he says, "Then you must speak to our matron. It's not every day we meet a passing caravan. Come, you must speak with Madame Ava. The rest of you, come drink and tell us stories."
Oh, Madame Ava, sure.
And he begins to like move, like, bring you down towards the firelight and the fun lights and noises. You see that Irina is already there. She has a cup and she's drinking out of the cup. She's sitting down. She's the fourth person sitting down by the fire. You see that there's a mix of men and women here dancing. The one who leads you down there immediately like looks around, throws open one of the doors in one of the wagons, begins rummaging. You see like a bunch of things like tumble out, and he walks over and like thrusts into Thorne's hand a drum, and says, "You can play this. Come sit with us. Sit and play." And like there's a guy with like the accordion. One guy's playing the pan flute. There's a couple of people just dancing and having a great old time.
Do they give Thorne booze?
Well, right now they gave you a drum. If you ask for booze, they will absolutely give you booze.
Imagine you can give like some spoons and play like the bones like
Just like a folk band.
yeah.
Like you're in Bush.
Yeah.
Toddrick is just drinking it to make different noises. That's awesome.
He's like, glug, glug, glug.
Yeah.
That's better.
Apparently, I actually have a drum.
I'm not surprised. So what do you guys do? You guys have been fully invited to the revelry that's happening here.
Oh, she's diving right in.
Sure. So you're sitting down. There's a bunch of logs that have just been tipped over. You're playing the drums. Toddrick, you're drinking and you're playing the bottle. Stewart, what are you doing?
Probably trying not to look like the cautious outsider, but absolutely looking like the cautious outsider.
Sure.
As he tries to sidle up next to Toddrick.
Yeah, Toddrick is drinking and playing the bottle.
Toddrick is drunk as.
Toddrick is drunkenly playing the bottle.
He's going to turn into all kinds of animals by the end of the night.
This is still my favorite place so far, but you not worried that these people are not worried at all?
I figured if I'm going to get killed, I would get killed when I was feeling pretty good and would not feel it.
I knew. Hang on. Jesus. I knew some of those words, Toddy.
I am trying to tell you. This juice bottle stuff that I have here, it won't make you feel the death as much. The secret is to kill yourself on the inside first.
Done and done. He probably claps Toddrick on the back. Have fun, buddy. And then goes to find Auntie Nanny.
Sure. Auntie Nanny, you are by the firelight. Something caught your eye. There's a bunch of young people, 30s to 20s, are all dancing in revelry and all that kind of thing. But you do, as you're walking in and you're taking a look around to see all this stuff, you see that as you kind of walk down, you felt like someone's watching you, and you see that there's a set of eyes kind of looking at you from inside the large tent. And as you sort of glance towards it, the curtain over the door just swings closed.
I mage-hand it open.
So, Stewart, you finish talking to Toddrick, and you see Auntie Nanny just and open that curtain. Is there anything you want to say to her before you're too drunk to do it?
Are you not concerned here? Am I the only one who's concerned here? Are we all good here?
Well, I mean, they're decent people. I don't notice anything bad off the cuff. And besides, would the creepy crow lie to us and send us to a place that's dangerous? I don't think he would. I think he just likes to hang the creepy crow that hangs around dead people, just simply because he wanted to help us out. Besides, I think I might have found someone older than me.
Yeah, no, forget it. You're making even less sense than Toddrick. I'm going to drink.
Where do you go to drink?
Probably right back next to Toddrick, because he's drunk enough that he'll share.
Yeah. And it's whenever there's an empty bottle, it is quickly replaced by a new bottle. It's the best place you've found in Barovia. This is your new favorite place. And if you could retire here and never fight anything else ever again, it would be great.
Yes.
So you guys are all gathered around the fire. Most of you are sitting, playing playing the drums, accordion music, pan flute happening. Stewart, you're just drinking. Auntie Nanny, you throw open this curtain here, and you see that this is like a yurt. It's carpeted. As you throw the door open, it's carpeted, and a dim red light sort of glows out of this. But no one comes to greet you as you mage hand the flap open. What do you do?
She stands up. She's about to dust the dirt off her legs and skirts, but realized everyone else is already dirty, so it probably won't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to step into the yurt.
Okay. As you do, you notice several things immediately. The red glow sort of washes over you as you walk in here, and as soon as you step in, the curtain behind you swings closed. Not menacingly, just sort of nicely flows closed. And as you walk through this opening tunnel way, you come out into this large tent, easily 10 by 10 tent. if not bigger. And you notice that all around the inside of this circular tent are flames, but they're floating, and they're glowing red. And that's what's causing this red light to happen. And you see that there is just, like, not a single carpet. There's just several carpets with tassels, without tassels, different designs. And roll me an investigation check, real quick.
Will do. 17.
Okay, so there have been times where you have left the tomb of Narcissa, I assume.
Yeah.
You notice that these carpets remind you of a time where you were in a marketplace. And it was a marketplace in Blackpool, which is the capital of Kryn. Excuse me. And Blackpool is noted for its large harbor. It's inset in a large bay. And so trade comes here from all over the world. A lot of ships come in to trade. It's one of the most southern kingdoms. And there is a place called the Divide inside of Blackpool, and there's merchants from all over the world. And these carpets strike you as something that would be sold there, as in the fact that they're all from all over the place. You see carpets that are native to, like, what you would consider Blackpool design. You see native to, like, Albion design. You see ones that have, like, similar markings to, like, what Stuart Gibbs wore on his regalia. You see other ones you don't recognize at all. You see other ones that have religious symbols. You see one that has the symbol of Aylmar. These seem to be carpets from all over wherever you came from. Which is the first thing that really strikes you as strange. And as you're kind of peering around at all these carpets, you notice that in the dead center of the room, surrounded by all kinds of boxes and crates and, like, you know, charts and, like, star charts and symbology, there is a circular table covered in a black velvet cloth. And you see, like, weird glints of light, not just the reflection of the red lights. You see glints of red and blue and purple, and you realize that they're coming off of this large crystal ball. And on the opposite side of the crystal ball, you see this withered, elderly woman just sort of hunched over the table. And then she looks up to you and she says, "At last you have arrived."
I messaged to her. You were expecting me.
She looks to you, eyes wide, like bright smile on her face. And she says, "Of course I have been expecting you, Jezebella. Sit.
And I'm going to speak out loud as I said, how do you know my name?
Oh, I know a great many things. Sit, come sit."
She squats down. It's someone maybe her age, maybe 200 years older.
Yeah.
So she can relate to her a little more.
She says, "What do you know about the fates?"
About the fates? Well, you see, most of my life I've been spent in a little cloister, protecting the halls of the dead, and trying to nurture my own brooding connection to an evil font of spells, but that's a story for a different time. Fates? Can I say I know?
"Yes, I know. A bat found you, and now you look for a bat." And you hear the sound of cards shuffling behind this giant orb.
Well, I'm not looking for a bat particularly. I mean, I'm looking to maybe end the existence of a monster that can take the form of a bat.
Oh, I know,
but
you already found the bat.
That will. He was the bat.
Oh, he was a bat. For sure.
Is Strahd the black bat?
Strahd's a great many things.
Oh, well then, you seem very enamored with these cards that you're flipping back and forth in your hand there.
And she waves her hand over the crystal ball, and it just sort of like evaporates into mist and just sort of falls down over the table. And she says, "With you here, we can begin. I will read your fortune for you." and
Oh,
tell you
oh.
what the cards see.
Oh, okay. That sounds very interesting.
So we're gonna
Let's
go, okay,
read.
go ahead.
Yeah, I know this is like a mechanic in the actual Curse of Strahd thing. I just don't know.
So she begins flipping these cards out in a pattern as you kind of lean in to see what she's doing. And the back of all these cards, again, like the carpets, they look like these cards are designed from all over the place. Each card shows varying levels of age. Like one's brand new, one looks like it's seen like 20 years of use. And you're just sort of watching. And as she places them all down, she puts her hand on the table, and then she peers up to you and smiles. And we'll zoom out to the revelry outside of the tent. So you guys are all drinking and having a good time. You see Stewart especially, because I think you're the most tentative drunk. You're sipping this, watching everyone with a suspicious eye. You see that Irina is sipping from her cup, and she keeps putting it over, and someone fills it. Sometimes it's you, sometimes it's Drunkrick, sometimes it's other people. And you see that she's getting a little flush in the cheeks, and she's probably had a bit too much than she can handle. But as the night winds down and the firelight starts to dim and no one's feeding it anymore, you notice that Auntie Nanny's been gone for a few minutes. But any time that you try to get up, not in a menacing way, but somebody comes over and gives you a new bottle or claps you on the back and tells you a little short tale. But as the night goes on, everyone sort of starts to congregate closer and closer to the fire, and the male that led you in here looks to everyone and says, "Now, if you would like, we can tell you a story."
Yeah, I think I'd like to hear a story.
Toddrick, you're nice and sauced at this point. Thorne, you're probably a little bit tipsy, at least.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Generally, I think she's not allowed to drink.
Mm-hmm.
So she would take drinks, but it would be like when, she thought nobody was looking.
Yeah.
She would just be taking, and I mean, she's huge, so
Yeah.
a few little, she'll be tipsy.
And then she hooks it on herself somewhere and then keeps playing the drum. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this guy kind of leans into the fire and says, "Well, we tell a tale about a mighty wizard who came to this land." And then all of the other Vistani people sort of start to sit down as he begins telling his tale. And the music slowly starts to fade out as they're sitting down. And like I said, the male that led you in here, he says, "A mighty wizard came to this land, garbed in red, a year ago. I remember him like it was yesterday. He stood exactly where you sit now. A very charismatic man. He thought he could rally the people of Barovia against the Devil Strahd. He stirred them with thoughts of revolt, and bore them to the castle in groups." And then he leans back, and one of the females leans in and says, "And when the vampire appeared, the wizard's peasant army fled in terror. A few stood their ground and were never seen again." And then she leans back, and one of the younger ones leans forward and says, "The wizard gave the vampire. He gave them a fight. He cast his spells at each other. Their battle flew from the courtyards of Ravenloft to a precipice overlooking the falls. I saw the battle with my own eyes. Thunder shook the mountainside, and great rocks trembled down upon the wizard, yet his magic forced him to survive." And he leans back, and someone else leans forward. "Lightning from the heavens struck the wizard, and again he stood his ground. But when the Devil Strahd fell upon him, the wizard's magic couldn't save him. I saw him thrown 1,000 feet to his death. I climbed down the river to search for the wizard's body, to see if he had anything of value. But the river Ivlis had already spirited him away. It is believed that the Red Wizard still hides in the woods, waiting, searching those of valor to fight back the Devil Strahd. Now you, tell us a story." And they all sort of lean back expectantly, waiting for one of you to lean in and tell them a story.
Oh, wait, me? No. Toddy, Thorne, you guys have the best stories.
Well, I killed a lot of undead.
Oh, a hero we have.
Kinda. I really don't like them. They're gross, and you can't eat them.
This is
And
true.
they hurt people, and so you have to kill them a lot really fast. You have to take off the head. Yeah,
Mm.
that part's really important.
And you fight them. You fight the undead.
She points to the giant great axe on her back.
So a great warrior you must be. And your friends, did they help you fight this undead?
She kind of puffs up a little.
Yeah. Are you here to take on Strahd the Devil?
Maybe. He
Nope.
was kind of a dick. I caught him in a net,
Oh, you caught him in a net.
sucker.
And-
Yeah, but then he went like all misty.
Oh, yes, yes. The Devil Strahd, he has many great powers. Hidden
Yeah, well,
lies.
I got great powers too.
I can see that. And they
Uh,
seem to
Todd-
be like feeding into your ego.
Oh, for sure.
Toddrick's
Yeah.
gonna
She'll just go on
point.
about how awesome she is.
Toddrick's gonna point at the priest and be like, "He was choked by him."
Oh. The devil grabbed you. You felt his clutches upon you, and yet you survive. A priest you must be. The guy sort of like rubs his throat, and he just like remembering getting choked for like a solid 45 seconds. And this goes on. They all kind of like egg you on into telling them different stories. They exchange words with you guys. You guys get a few snippets of information through their stories. They begin telling you like stories like the local land. Toddrick, you especially, even drunk, pick up on the fact that they say that you should avoid places like this, and that it's better to stick to the road because straying too far into the forest, there are wild druids, there are wayward ghosts, there are wolves that come out. They tell you that there is an old windmill in the village of Barovia and in the town of Vallaki. Oh, sorry, there's an old windmill between the two of them, and it should be avoided at all costs.
Wait, is that the house with the big fan on top?
Yes.
Why does it do that? That makes no sense. Why would you put a fan on top of your house? I don't get it. We saw it in that house. With the dead baby.
Oh, the Durst House. Yes.
You know about that?
Everyone
They were all
knows about that place. Yes, it was burnt down many years ago.
Yeah, that's what they keep saying.
I don't imagine them saying anything else. But the windmill, it's used for, I believe, grain. The wind turns the mill, and the mill mills the grain into flour.
It
It's
looks
used
totally.
for bread. The fan makes
Okay.
bread.
Yeah, that's it. That's all the explanation.
Yep. She picked it up now. Yeah, so this continues back and forth, this storytelling, trying to goad you guys into telling stories, them slipping you little snippets of information. And while this happens, we're going to back inside the tent there. So Auntie Nanny, you are sat as close to cross-legged as possible on a poof of a pillow across on this table from who you presume to be Madame Eva, as she slaps these cards out on the table in this strange diamond pattern. She places both hands on the table, looks to you, and she says, "Shall we begin?"
Let us begin then.
She flips over the first card. She said, "This card tells of history. Knowledge of the ancient would help you better understand your enemy." Flipping the card over, she says, "The thief. What you seek lies at the crossroad of life and death, among the buried dead." Flips over the second card, or points to the second card. She says, "This card Tells of a powerful force for good and protection. A holy symbol of great hope. Flips it over. Says, the Myrmidon. Look for a den of wolves in the hills overlooking a mountain lake. The treasure belongs to Mother Night.
Overlooking a lake. As she scribbles on, like, she's like got like her skirt like pulled up and scribbling on her skirt like that. So she needs to read it. She just looks like so.
Yep. She points to the third card and says, this is a card of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of vengeance, a sword of sunlight. Flips it over and says, ooh, the hooded one. I see a faceless god. He awaits you at the end of a long and winding road, deep in the mountains. She points to the fourth card and says, this card sheds a light on one who may help you greatly in the battle against darkness. Flips it over. It says, the broken one. Your greatest ally will be a wizard. His mind is broken, but his spells are strong. And
ooh, I hold real tight my spell book of Theoden Liaminar. Well, my mind's broken too, and I'm a wizard, so it could just be me.
That's true. She hovers over the last card, and she looks down at the card, looks at the other four cards, and sort of leans in and looks to you. And she says, your enemy is a creature of darkness, whose powers are beyond mortality. This card, and she taps it a few times, will lead you to him. And she flips it over. She says, I see a secret place. And she leans back and pushes the card towards you. This card is it says the Tempter across the bottom. It says a vault of temptation hidden behind the beauty of a woman. The evil awaits atop the Tower of Pleasure.
Awaits the top of the Tower of Pleasure. That sounds like a little place of ill repute, mayhaps. Nanny's going to look at all five of these and just... Folks! She's going to run outside. Toddrick, Stewart, Thorne, you have to come get your fortunes told. Tomorrow.
What's a fortune?
It's a prediction of what's going to happen in your future.
Oh, okay. She'll go stomping over to the...
Also, what I thought I would have earned in this stupid cult by now.
How many of you get up and go?
No.
I do.
Just Thorne? Toddrick, are you too drunk to do anything?
If Stewart takes me, I'll go, but I'm not going to go on my own.
Okay. Stewart seems to be drinking heartily and remaining by the fireside.
Getting bitterer as he does.
Mm-hmm. Thorne, you get up, jovial, having fun. Everyone stroked your ego, and you stomp by, sort of brushing past Auntie Nanny, excitedly into the tent, and the flap opens, and you see a multicolored tent, same as you saw on the outside. As you walk in, you feel your feet touch grass, and you look around, and you see crates and barrels and wine bottles and dried food hanging from the ceiling and dried sage and herbs. And this looks to be a storage tent.
It looked very nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a great storage tent.
Annie, there's food in here.
You hear this call. You hear this call from the outside.
Is that my fortune?
The food? No. Here, sit.
He's gonna start eating.
No.
It's not yours. Don't eat if it's not yours.
So, Nanny, do you go back inside?
I like stand outside the flap of the tent and that little shuffle people do when they're trying to like use the bathroom at the bar, but it's full. It's like,
I'll just come out and like hold the door. She's got like a chunk of dried meat hanging out of her mouth.
You know,
where's the
Enjoy your
fortune?
stay.
I don't know what that's supposed to be. And she just like looks back in the tent.
is there should be a nice old woman like me inside there. Do you not see her?
No.
Wait, what? And I poke my head in the tent. Do I see her?
You see grass on the ground. You see no carpets. You see the similar array of like boxes and crates around the outside that you saw before, but now you see hanging meat. You see hanging herbs and spices, like drying racks all over the place. And yeah, it just opens up. It looks like there are imprints on the ground in the center where the table and carpets were that look like this is where bedrolls might have been for a few days, but they seem to have been rolled up and are no longer there. But you see the rectangular impressions in the ground.
Thorne, you just you keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to go get really, really drunk right now.
Okay, and she'll just get more booze and food. And...
Yeah, there's booze in there and there's food in there, and no one can see you eating and drinking it. So you have found heaven.
Yep.
Yeah, so you guys continue on drinking, revelry. Irina joins in the drinking. Father Donovich joins in the drinking. And you guys are all having a good time. The Vistani people are welcoming. They're telling you stories. They're singing songs. You guys are playing music together. All in all, it's a fairly good night. If you are drinking to intoxication, I would like everyone who's drunk to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like because in general, she's not allowed to drink.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people would have been afraid of what would happen.
Sure.
If she got really loaded, then she would probably drink it, especially with nobody stopping her.
Yeah, no one's in that room, so you can drink to your heart's content.
Oh. That's not good. I've not been rolling well today.
So, Auntie Nanny, you are elderly.
Yeah. I sniff it and bam.
Yeah, so you had a good night. You found these people. This is the first bit of joy you've had in this horrible, dark land. You met a woman who's older than you, who was wise and mystical, which is something you've really never had. You've never had that, like, teacher figure. So this was a whole new experience for you, despite the strangeness that when you went back to look a second time, she was no longer there. So you're not really sure if you imagine this whole situation or not. But either way, you take a few swigs of alcohol, and that's enough for your frail form. Toddrick, you are the life of the party. You're having a good time. You transform into animals. You start playing the bottles. One point you got 2 bottles, and you're hoo, back and forth. Stewart, you are the more reserved one. You're drinking heartily, but you're drinking slower than everyone else, kind of watching everything happen. As the night dies on, you have mostly lost track of Thorne, but you kind of feel confident that Thorne can take care of most things that come in her direction. Auntie Nanny has passed out. Toddrick has worn pants on his head and done other things, but you've seen that before. Yeah, this is nothing new.
And they're not necessarily my pants.
They're not necessarily his pants. Yeah, they're not even necessarily the gender to which he identifies as pants.
But the weird part is he's missing his pants.
Yeah, he's missing his pants. But he's tied his brown cloak around himself. It's fine. Eventually he passes out. Eventually the Vistani people who can hold their own liquor retire into their wagons. And you are the last person awake as the fire is sort of dwindling down. And you're just sort of sitting there on the log, kind of looking in at the embers, just sort of reflecting on whatever the hell has happened in the last few days. Because it's the weirdest shit that you have ever had to deal with. And it's probably Toddrick's fault somehow. you eventually go to sleep, as you all do. And when you wake up, because you wake up the first and the most sober, all of the wagons and the tent is gone.
But the hangover remains.
Yep.
Remains.
That's what we get for following Medivh to a bunch of crazy carnival people.
And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Dun-dun.
Nice.
Cool. So we'll go around, introduce our cast and crew, and then we'll get the hell out of here with a raid on a good friend of ours. So we'll go over to someone with a new mentor, possibly. Rem, who are you? What are you doing here? And what did you think of tonight?
It's me, Rim, and Insomniac Sync in the chat and on my Twitters and such. I had a good time. I got to lose my shit over a picture of a goofy-looking horse.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a bunch of fun cards that are very cryptic and do things. But yeah, I stream sometimes. I draw my NPCs for some of the games I do, so you can find me streaming there on an Insomniac Sync. And right now in the DM's Guild, one of my modules that I've written is a pay what you want. So go snatch it up before I put a price tag on it. That's
Sweet.
me.
Someone else who makes awesome rad shit. Madfish, who are you? What are you doing here? And what did you think of tonight?
I'm Madfish. I hang around the internet and make stuff. I made dice bags. I made this one today. It's for Huggles. I liked it. I thought it was fun. I like how our characters are getting, developing. I think we're, really becoming an interesting, strange group of people.
Yeah, that's true. You are a strange group of people, to
We
say
really
the
are.
least.
But, we still managed to get something done, I think.
You did learn some things. At least one of you learned something.
I didn't get to eat anything interesting or kill anything this time, so
That's true.
we'll have to make sure we get that for next time. But I am so proud of myself for catching Strahd in the net.
Yes.
Best use of the net so far, I would say.
Yeah, that was a pretty good. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put a bat in there. And originally, it was just gonna be a bat that was just spying on you because that's things that Strahd can do. And you're like, I'm gonna catch it. And I was like, no, I'm gonna make it interesting. Let's see what happens. So
I got a little worried when you were like, "Are you okay?" Then I was like, "Oh no."
yeah, like, oh no, it's a demon. I just caught a demon. It's just disguised as a bat.
So I've watched you play enough to know. So as soon as you made that bat Strahd, I was like, "You only did that because you caught it."
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Speaking of, we'll go over to you, Frags. Who are you? What are you doing here? And what did you think of tonight?
I am KW Frags on everything. In the chat, on Twitter, on Twitch, on my mama. Anyway, I'm a mod here. Me and Bitters, we try to hold it down. I was Toddrick. Got a little drunk. Didn't get my fortune read. Danced around with pants on my head. But don't call me a pants head. But yeah. I enjoyed the heck out of it. I seem to have always been clicked out of the map every time you pinged where we're at, and then eventually I heard you say something about us being at a lake, so I assumed we were like right over there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fun. I enjoyed being a horse. That was fun.
Everyone enjoyed you being a horse. I think Bitters enjoyed it the most. And speaking of Bitters, who are you? What are you doing here? And what did you think of tonight?
Don't you put words in my mouth. I'm Mr. Bitters, and I hate almost everything.
Except Toddrick Horse.
Except Toddrick Horse, but especially Barovius.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have mixed feelings about tonight, I guess. I kind of moderate around here. I mostly just hang out and play games and slack off on my duties.
Sweet. That's a perfect introduction there. Guys, so this is our campaign, Curse of Strahd. We're going to see how crazy it gets here. Tomorrow we have Blades in the Dark 6 and 20. Thursday we have Havoc in the Hinterlands, a homebrew 5e game. Friday I'm going to take the day off of work because I turned 30 and I'm just going to get shit-faced and play video games on the internet. So
Nice.
Frags is probably going to help because he is in my living room and likes to get shit-faced at noon. So, guys,
You turned 30 today?
I turned 30 on Friday.
I turned 30 tomorrow.
That's awesome.
Oh my goodness!
That's-
We're 30 friends.
Frags, you turned 30 shortly, right? Because you're old.
Yeah, in February I'll
Yeah,
turn
he's-
30.
yeah.
Dirty
I did
30.
bring that up. Yeah, it's a dirty 30 stream off. So yeah, I turned 30 on Friday. I'm gonna get shit faced. Then I'm gonna go to dinner drunk with my parents, and then I'm gonna go to a bar and get more shit faced, and then we're just gonna see what happens on Saturday. It's
30-hour
gonna be great.
stream.
30-hour
30-hour
stream. No
stream. There you
pass.
go.
Hard pass. So guys, definitely stop by and check that out. If you're not following us on social media, why? Why not? If you're not in the Discord, if you're not in us, well, that's two. If you're not in the Discord, please go join the Discord. We keep the conversation going all the time over there. It's a real blast talking about tabletop, video games, movies, all kinds of cool shit. So join us over there. And before we get the hell out of here, we're gonna go raid our friend and our DM on Wednesdays, Video Store Cowboy, who has finally launched the third crew of the Blades in the Dark 6 and 20 franchise over on his channel. Our very own Anonymous Rhinoceros is currently playing that game. We have Valanda playing that game. Video Store Cowboy's daughter is playing that game. And someone named Patrick is playing that game. So definitely go check those guys out. It is the third crew in the same world as our Wednesday crew and Not So Speedruns Thursday crew. It is a crazy, hectic game. So go over there, send them all your love, hit that follow button, and join them for some sweet, sweet tabletop games. And from all of us to you guys, bye-bye.